W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot are in a league of their own when it comes to rugged capability. Their relentless power and versatility make these vehicles the ultimate challengers for exhilarating adventures and formidable terrain. But it's not just performance that makes these cars special. It's the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's, moving lives forward.
Available all-wheel drive on Pilot based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance is fair.
We ask for a chance is fair.
Chance to equal our strife. Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
So we can't beat.
We can't beat.
Boom, beat.
Who let the dogs out? It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football, featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Good evening from Kilburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium, and a cool and beautiful night in Martinsburg, West Virginia, as we welcome you into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call them at 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman's Daryl Miller. On-site producer is John Alderton. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini as the Spring Mills Cardinals come to Martinsburg High to take on the undefeated Bulldogs. 12 times in the 10-year history of this school, Spring Mills has lost in all 12 meetings, Dylan. However, this year is the best year Spring Mills has had. 7-1. The one loss coming against Jefferson week 1, 21-19. But since then, they've looked really, really good, led by third-year quarterback, the junior Max Anderson. But the question tonight is Spring Mills best enough to beat the undefeated 7-0 Martinsburg Bulldogs?
We're here to find out. It's the big one of the year here. 5 versus 6. And Spring Mills has definitely their best chance to ever do it that they've had. It's a big jump from last year. Last year in this matchup, it was 63-0 Martinsburg. In the entire history of this matchup, Spring Mills has scored 57 total points on Martinsburg over these years. So it's been tough, like it has been for every team in the Panhandle against Martinsburg. But I think if any team would do it this year, it would be Spring Mills, because they have made a big jump now that Max Anderson is a junior and he's come along, third-year starter, and he's really shown to be impressive on the ground and throwing the ball, because he's put up big numbers in both areas. He's thrown for 853 yards so far this year, 10 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, and he's also run the ball for 726 yards and 12 rushing touchdowns. I mean, we can put that together, you're talking about over 1,500 total yards and 22 touchdowns in just 8 games. Throw in the fact that he's intercepted 4 balls on the defensive side as a free safety. He's gotten 1 pick six that way as well. So think about it that way, he's intercepted more passes as a defensive player than he has thrown as an offensive player, which is incredibly impressive. If I look through the stats, potentially Murphy Clement could say the same thing, but even he might not be able to. So Spring Mills has put together, under interim coach Marcus Law, a really impressive group that has been able to rattle off 7 straight wins since they started the year with a 2-point loss to Jefferson. And most coaches at the high school and college level will tell you that their biggest improvement as a team is from week 1 to week 2. And potentially that could be the case with Spring Mills. If Spring Mills and Jefferson played again this week, next week, end of the season, playoffs, me personally, I would narrowly favor Spring Mills. And that really bodes well for them when the playoffs come around. This would be a huge game for Spring Mills to get this upset and catapult themselves into the top 4 of the playoffs here at the end of the season, because obviously beating Martinsburg is going to get you those points at the end of the year and get you home games throughout most of the playoffs, if not all of the playoffs. There's still a potential that whoever wins this game could end the year as the number 2 seed in the playoffs and have home field advantage all the way through to Wheeling Island.
By the way, to quickly go off your point of how many interceptions Murphy has had, the answer is 2. He leads the team out of the 7 interceptions so far this year for the Bulldogs defensively.
So he's thrown 2 and he's gotten 2. So, it's impressive. Anderson throwing 2, intercepting 4 on defense. So that just goes to show you that led by their third-year experienced quarterback. He was a talented freshman. Last year he was a talented sophomore, still an underclassman. We just kept talking about the Spring Mills team has talent, but they're young. Now they've arrived. Their best players are becoming upperclassmen. And here they are. This is the measuring stick. This is the measuring stick of the EPAC. And more often than not, most years, it's the measuring stick of West Virginia high school football. What are they going to do? How much have they improved? What can they do?
Right.
Are they on that level? Are they still on the level of a Jefferson? Say, Jefferson lost by about 40 points to Martinsburg this year. Jefferson's a really talented team, number 7 in the state. Are they on that level? Or have they reached another level? They beat University by 35 points last week. Where are they at? Again, this is the measuring stick game.
Spring Mills averages 37.5 points per game, allows 10.1. Martinsburg, though, even better than that. They have the talent, and they let it be known. They go out, and they hold opponents below 42 yards of rushing, scoring. Martinsburg offense averages 45.29, only allows 5.71. So yes, this offense, really talented, led by Max Anderson on the Spring Mill side. But will they be able to put up points against Martinsburg's defense, something that they have not seen before at all this year? And nobody can compare. I mean, Martinsburg defense, this is how good they are just from a scoring perspective themselves. They've only let up 40 total points all season long. They alone have scored 42 points off defensive, either pick sixes or safeties.
It's really going to be a question, can Spring Mills run the ball? Because Spring Mills has been able to on everyone else so far this year. They've ran the ball for 2,001 yards in 8 games at 26 rushing touchdowns. Meanwhile, Martinsburg holds opponents to under 43 rushing yards per game. We talk about it all the time. It's the defensive line. It's Rashad Reed. It's Xerxes Yancey. It's Wes Hancock. It's all those guys that can bust through the offensive line against this rushing attack of Alex Eaton and Max Anderson in the backfield, that quarterback-running back duo. Are you going to be able to slow down Max Anderson, turn him into a passer? He's been a good passer this year, but when that's the only thing he's able to do, if that's the only thing he's able to do, will it be the same result?
Step aside, take our first break on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. On the other side of that break, we'll have our check of the area schedule as Spring Mills gets ready for the Martinsburg Bulldogs with kickoff coming at 7 o'clock. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore-D.C. Beltway and 1/2 hour drive from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's now time for the check of the area schedule, brought to you by Rock's Local Markets. Fast, fresh, friendly Rock's. The Musselman Applemen improved to 3-4 overall after getting a 6-0 win against Hedgesville last week, thanks to a last-second scoop and score by Colton Shelton. With the win, Musselman comes in at 16th in this week's WVSSAC playoff rankings. Tonight, the Applemen travel to Shenandoah Junction for a matchup with the Jefferson Cougars. Musselman head coach Brian Thomas shared his thoughts on Jefferson.
They're good, man. I got to go, with us playing on Saturday, I got to go watch them the other night as they played Millbrook. I got to see them live, and they're good, man. They're, the biggest thing that stood out to me is the athletes. As you mentioned, everybody talks about the athletes, but they're really good up front, too. They're physical up front. They get after it up front. So, they do have athletes all over the place, but at the same time, it's not just about those kids. It's about the big boys, too, that get the things done up front. So, I think they're a complete, well-rounded team. I don't think they have many holes, man. They got good quarterback play, the two good running backs, just receivers, receiver depth, just crazy. And then, you factor in, they got good linebackers. They got a good front. They're dangerous, man. Really good football team.
The Jefferson Cougars are now 5-2 on the year after a 35-28 road win last week over Millbrook. That puts Jefferson 7th overall in the playoff rankings. Tonight, Jefferson hosts Musselman. Head coach of the Cougars, Craig Hunter, shared his thoughts on the Applemen.
Musselman was tricky because Musselman was doing a different style of offense in the beginning of the year, and now they changed the offense. Much reverted back to what they were doing last year now, a little bit, with some things that they were doing a little bit this year. Musselman's always a tough team. It's always a tough team for us. We always battle hard. I expect them to come in and be very physical. I expect them to come in and give us a hard-fought game, basically mainly because they're fighting for their playoff lives right now.
The Washington Patriots are 2-5 overall and are coming off their bye week. Washington is currently 25th overall in the playoff rankings, and tonight visit the 28th ranked Hampshire Trojans. Washington head coach Terry Ray shared his thoughts on Hampshire.
Hampshire's a pretty good football team. They played a competitive schedule. Offensively, they've done a little bit of everything this year, what we've seen. Defensively, they've ran a 3-4 and they've ran an even front 4-2. They're a tough football team. I've coached against them the last 3 years when I was at Berkeley Springs. They're always going to bring their A game to you.
The Hedgesville Eagles have a bye week this week after losing last week 6-0 against Musselman to fall to 3-5 overall. The Eagles stayed at 21st in the playoff rankings with the loss. Hedgesville head coach Matt Faircloth shared what this week was like for them.
One, rest, get healthy, but still sticking to football stuff and, lightening the load a little bit. Just working on the basics, fundamental stuff and stretch recovery stuff, getting our bodies back into, try to get them back into some peak performance before we get to field next week.
That was your check of the area area schedule brought to you by Rock's Local Markets. Fast, fresh, friendly, Rock's. Once again, our matchup tonight features the Spring Mills Cardinals and the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We will continue to preview this matchup coming up next on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. You're tuned into West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation, a hearty meal of 12 pieces for $12 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha! Let's go!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $12.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
This is Eric at Hancock Chevrolet. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hancock Chevrolet, it is that easy. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hancock Chevrolet will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time in a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Cumberland to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hancock Chevrolet absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HancockChevy.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want, and your new ride will be delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 as we get you ready for kickoff between the Spring Mills Cardinals and the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We'll now take a look at the visiting Spring Mills Cardinals. 7-1 overall, 7-game win streak. That one loss week 1, 21-19 to the Jefferson Cougars, who, as you heard, getting ready to take on Musselman tonight. Nick Verzolini will keep you up with that score halftime and postgame. But this team definitely has impressed a lot of people around the state. We knew last year, end of the year, we had that game, Dylan, on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 against University at home. A win. They sit at 5-5, most likely would have been in the playoffs. Unfortunately, it was a loss for them. They fell to 4-6. But we heard being young, no longer an excuse for this team. They have the experience now, and that mostly led from Max Anderson, the third-year starting quarterback that's a junior.
Yeah, I think it really started, you could say, with week 1 when they only lost to Jefferson by 2 points, but then you get to week 4 and it's a 26-3 win over Musselman. That's when it was really time to start paying attention. You know, Musselman's had their struggles this year, maybe compared to what we expected them to be, but still a quality program. And then I think, you go go through all these other games that they've had: 41-0 over Albert Gallerton, 39-14 over South Hagerstown, 54-6 over North Hagerstown, 46-0 over Washington, 26-23 over Frankfort. But then you get the last week in University, winning by 35 against a quality program over there down in Morgantown, and you see the difference. And when it comes to Max Anderson, like we talked about in the first segment, him being at just 8 games into the season, he's run the ball 100 times for over 700 yards and 12 rushing touchdowns, and then he's been an efficient passer as well. 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, only 97 attempts on the season to get that 850 yards that he's had so far. 60% completion percentage, pretty good. So they haven't asked him to pass the ball a lot. That's just 12 passes a game. And, a lot of that you can chalk up to these big margins where, you're beating a team 46-0 or 54-6. You don't need to throw the ball. that much, and you get to the end of the game, you're going to keep running the ball. It's why they have 2,000 rushing yards on the season, but still, that's 2,000 rushing yards. Are they going to be able to do that against Martinsburg? That's going to be the thing. You have a quarterback who's a legitimate dual threat who can run the ball all over the defense. Then you have a running back in Alex Eaton who also has, almost 6 yards per carry so far this year, 5.7, 4 touchdowns of his own. Josiah Brown's gotten some work in there as well, 375 yards, 4 touchdowns of his own. But mostly it's Max Anderson and Alex Eaton carrying the load in the rushing attack. Alex Eaton has as many rushing attempts as Max Anderson has passes on the season. So this is going to be, to me, I would expect a Rich Rodriguez, Pat White, Steve Slayton type dynamic, but between Max Anderson and Alex Eaton to try to get things going. But as you mentioned already, also running the ball on Martinsburg is the toughest thing to try to do this year and last year, especially with Reed, Hancock, Yancey, Bass. The entire defensive front of Martinsburg is stout, and it's hard to get things going that way. If Martinsburg can make Max Anderson one-dimensional, take away his legs, make him throw the ball down the field, is he going to be able to do it? He's been efficient so far this year, but again, hasn't been asked to do a whole lot of it. Is he going to be able to come up big if Martinsburg takes away the rushing attack? You look at the top wide receivers on Spring Mills, like Keon Mills, Xavier Anderson, Hope Boakwe. 14 catches is the leading receiver on Spring Mills. 14, 12, 10. Those are the only guys on this team that have caught double-digit passes on the entire season, 7 or 8 games. So that's barely 1 catch per game. Again, that's going to be the key. Can you keep the rushing game going against the Martinsburg defensive line? And if you can't, is Max Anderson going to be able to throw the ball around the field on this tough secondary as well of the Bulldogs? And I think that's before you even get to the other side. If the Spring Mills defense can slow down the powerful offense with Murphy Clement and Coy Fagan and company on the other side for Martinsburg.
Step aside, take another break here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the interim head coach of the Spring Mills Cardinals, Marcus Wall. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States each year. But do you know the radon levels in your home? Home is a place to live, love, and laugh, not a place to breathe air containing radon. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments are distributing free confidential radon test kits, and you can get yours at the Berkeley County Health Department office in Martinsburg and the Morgan County Health Department office in Berkeley Springs. Protect your home and family. Get your free radon test kit today.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer!
The Mountaineer Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Mondays, Karaoke Tuesdays, Steak Night Wednesdays and Sundays, Bone Lake Swing Night Thursdays, and DJ and/or karaoke, again Fridays and Saturdays. And remember, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays through Fridays is happy hour with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Pub!
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's now time for our coaches' interviews, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons, now joined by the head coach of the Spring Mills Cardinals, Marcus Law. Coach Law, your team coming off a very impressive road victory over University last week. Let's just get into that game, and what do you like from your team?
Well, just the execution of it. I mean, we looked at all three phases of the game. They went out to the game plan, and they executed to the best of their ability. Also, at the beginning of the half, University did a few good things for them, and our guys responded the right way by sticking in there and getting done what needs to get done.
For the past few weeks, you and I, when we've had our interviews, have talked a lot about the momentum of this program, and as the wins continue to stack up, the pride in the school and the momentum continues to grow and grow. Now your team already tying the school record in wins. How much does that mean to your program, and what's the next step?
I think it means a lot to the program, and not just us, but the community themselves. A lot of people have been backing this program for quite some time, and it's actually kind of nice to see things pay off and for the loyalty they've had over the years. So it means a lot to us, and definitely to these boys, the seniors that have been out here. So it's great to see.
And then the next step, obviously, that everybody will be saying, yes, you've started 7-1, but now you guys get to go up against one of the top programs in the state, being the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Yep. Excitement level all around the area, all around the state is definitely here. Yep. What are you guys most excited for in this matchup?
Opportunity. I mean, also Martinsburg, you can look back and those things they've done over the years. It gives us a chance to see where we are right now. And our guys are definitely looking forward to the challenge and go out there and give the best we can.
Before the game takes place, where do you feel like your team is at right now at this point in time?
I think we're in a good spot here, but, just as anything, there's always room to improve. There's some things that we're trying to straighten up in all three phases there, but we're in a good spot.
What have you seen on film so far this year from Martinsburg? What has stood out to you?
Talent. They're very talented, a lot of speed. Their front line is very, very good, and also with their back end of things, they do a great job of communication and passing things off, so definitely be up for a challenge.
What do you guys need to execute to get the win?
All three phases, and honestly, it's one of those things, taking it play by play and then just executing to the best of our ability.
All right, let's now get into our fun question for you this week, unless you got anything else for us, Coach. Before I do that, I want to ask, because later on here in this pregame show, we'll talk with Max Anderson. How much have you really seen him grow and be one of the best players in the state this year?
A lot of growth out of Max, but again, like I keep saying, it's not just about what the things he's doing on the field. It's a lot of the small things he does behind the scenes, and that just goes from the film study, making sure his guys are being held accountable. It's all those small things that's kind of added up to where he is right now.
All right, that fun question now that I was getting ready to ask you, what type of music do you listen to?
I'm rap, but I'm old school. I'm stuck in the 90s, so I like my Dr. Dre and my Nate Dogg and stuff, so definitely a little bit old school rap.
All right, appreciate the time, Coach Long. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
This was our coaches' interviews brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons back for more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show right after this. You're tuned into West Virginia High School football right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot are in a league of their own when it comes to rugged capability. Their relentless power and versatility make these vehicles the ultimate challengers for exhilarating adventures and formidable terrain. But it's not just performance that makes these cars special. It's the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's moving lives forward.
Available all-wheel drive on Pilot based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer. But that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Hi,
Hi, Krisha Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show live from Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium, as we are about half an hour away from kickoff between the Spring Mills Cardinals and the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Let's now get into the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Dylan, as undefeated, 7-0 right now for them. They have absolutely dominated all season long.
It's been incredibly impressive in pretty much every facet of the game, and really all three phases of the game as well. And Murphy Clement and Coy Fagan on the offensive side have been a great duo rushing the ball, and Murphy Clement has been really impressive passing the ball as well. You can't just limit him. It's in the same way that you would say Max Anderson has been a great dual-threat quarterback. So is Murphy Clement, just over 1,000 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Very similar statistics to Max Anderson, just 94 passes on the season. And then you look, Murphy has run the ball 80 times for 499 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns. Coy Fagan, just under 600 yards and 11 rushing touchdowns for himself. And Sarad Musgrove has been a great threat in the passing game and in special teams, because once he gets the ball in his hands, he can go the distance with it every time. It's a touchdown waiting to happen. He's only caught 14 passes so far this year, but he has 384 receiving yards and 4 receiving touchdowns that go along with 2 punt return touchdowns as well. He's averaging 34 yards per punt return on the 4 that he's been able to get so far this year. So it's going to be a lot for Spring Mills to handle on the offensive side of the ball, and we talked about the defensive side. The defensive line of Martinsburg, the defense in general, is going to be a lot for Max Anderson and Alex Eaton to handle.
I got some numbers for you on the defensive end. Tackles for loss in total, 43. Sacks, 25. That's an average of 3.5 sacks per game, leading the way E.J. Hendricks so far this year with 6.5. Xerxes Yancey and Rashad Reed right behind him with 2.5 each. You got Tayshawn Cofield with 2.5, and Trey Moats comes in with 3.5. So this team will put pressure on the quarterback, but as you said, yeah, Max Anderson on the other side, definitely elusive, but can they keep him contained? We'll have to wait and see, but I think you've got to lean to the answer yes, because of the edge rushers like Tay Cofield, like Coy Fagan, like Nick Buskey, who had a great game on the edge last week, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me.
And it's really just hard to imagine. You know, we haven't seen the Spring Mills offensive line up close and in person, but does anyone in the state, let alone the Eastern Panhandle, have an offensive line in the interior that can stop Rashad Reed? He has 11.5 tackles for loss on the season to go with his 2.5 sacks. It's going to be incredibly tough, and Max Anderson is going to have his hands full if he continues his dominance like he has against other offensive lines.
We'll step aside and take another break on the W. Harley Miller Systems pre-game show. On the other side of this break, we'll have our head coach interview with Dave Walker, as well as our In the Huddle player interviews with Spring Mills' Max Anderson, as well as Martinsburg's Nick Buskey. And then for Martinsburg alumni, we have an Alumni Minute announcement from Coach Larry Cooper, as well as his wife, Miss Anita Cooper. You're tuned into West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 8 new providers who've joined University Health Associates East and our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center. Physician's Assistant Casey Wiebel, Emergency Medicine, Dr. Mark Seymour, Anesthesia, Dr. Farman Ali, Neurology, Dr. Christopher Redmond, Rheumatology, Dr. Sierra Hart, Emergency Medicine, Physician's Assistant Carly Kremer, Cardiology, Nurse Practitioner Jennifer Gorgal, General Surgery, and Nurse Practitioner Corey Lapai, OBGYN. Welcome to WVU Medicine.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game. W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pre-game show. It's now time for our coaches interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons now joined by the head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs, David Walker. Coach Walker, your team coming off a bye week. What has been the past 2 weeks for you guys so far?
Well, last week having the open week, we just kind of wanted to get back to the fundamentals, try to establish like some law and order, get back to some basic rules of fundamental play. And also on top of that, try to prepare for spring meals. And then this week obviously has been, preparing for the opponent, getting ready and putting in the game plan and stuff.
Not too many guys banged up, but how much did the week off help those guys maybe get healthy?
Yeah, I think we were really pretty healthy going into the open week. We still got a few guys banged up a little bit, but overall this time of year we're actually pretty healthy.
What are some of the things that you've learned so far here about this year's team being your first year back?
It's a great group of young men. The senior class got a great bunch of guys. They've worked hard. It's a special group. They've been very receptive to me and the things that I try to bring to the table. So it's a great group, and they got a lot of really good young guys as well.
Since you mentioned it before we break down this week's game against Spring Mills, the game is senior night for you guys. Just talk about all the seniors and how much they've really led this program.
Well, the thing is, when I was here before, these guys were all probably 8th graders. So I knew a couple of them, and so getting to know them here these past few months has been really nice. It's a good group. Coach Sherman led these guys well, and the whole coaching staff. They've worked hard, and it's a good group that we're going to hate to see leave. But you have good kids every year, so they've definitely put themselves in the. As far as the tradition of Martinsburg football and their legacy, I think they've set, pretty high standard like the groups before them.
Let's now break down this week's game, a big game. First time, I believe, that you guys and Spring Mills are both in that top 5 area of the playoff rankings. Just tell us a little bit about what has stood out to you on the Cardinals so far.
Yeah, they've got a really good football team. Obviously their quarterback play is something a lot of people talk about. He's a really good player. They're physical. They're very athletic. Their running game is very good. Like I say, quarterback throws the ball well. Defensively, they're physical, very aggressive. And I think Coach Law's done a great job. I think their whole staff's done a great job, and it's good. Should be for an exciting evening.
How important is this game for your team this week?
Well, yeah, I think it's really important. As far as the playoff picture goes, and the conference, conference championship, obviously, I think would be on the line. And just for the area, I think it's a big game, but I think it's important for our kids to play well.
The excitement level, it being senior night, last home game of the year, you guys only got 2 games left, unfortunately, this year. No 10-game schedule, only a 9-game schedule. What are you trying to make sure is the key focus this week against Spring Mill?
I just want our guys to play well. Just play well, do the little things right, and continue to get better. I think the focus is always just trying to get better every day, as we always say. And we want our young guys to play well for the seniors, try to honor those guys, but we want our seniors to have a great evening on their senior night.
Before we wrap things up, last week we started the new kind of just getting to know coaches other than as a coach. So last week we already asked you what your favorite meal is this week. Wanted to ask what type of music you're into.
I love all types of music. I don't know if I have I guess if I had to name a favorite, it might be classic, like some classic rock stuff. But I listen to everything from to R&B, country, heavy metal, R&B. I listen to everything. So I don't know that I have a one definite favorite, but I do enjoy music. That's for sure.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but you're also a musician, correct?
It depends on who you ask, but yeah, I do play a little bit. I have a lot of fun with it, and it's something that I picked up a long time ago, and it's a good outlet. It's something that's like I say, music has always been a big part of my life, so I do enjoy playing.
What kind of gave you that love for music?
What kind of what?
What gave you your love for music?
I had some uncles that my uncles were all musically inclined, and one of my uncles showed me how to play, and then I was just kind of around it, and it's just one of those things that I was drawn to. Growing up, I listened to all types of music, and it just kind of stuck with me over the years.
All right, any final thoughts on this week's matchup against Spring Mills, Coach?
No, it's exciting. It should be an exciting evening. Looking forward to it. And, local football has really gotten better over the years. And I think this is going to be two good teams going at it, and should be for an exciting evening.
All right, appreciate the time as always, and good luck.
All right, thank you.
That was our coaches' interviews, brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons back for more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show right after this. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family. And we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Welcome back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We're now going in the huddle for our player interviews, brought to you by the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors. John Everson and Phil McCoy stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue. Call them today at 304-263-4343. I'm now joined by the quarterback of the Spring Mills Cardinals, Max Anderson. Max, your team looking tremendous so far on all three phases of the game, you being one of the leaders. What have you liked from your team so far?
I like the way we just go out about every game. We're confident. We want to win. We got a different mindset. Like I'm just super proud of how we just approach every week.
You talk about that different mindset. What exactly is that mindset now coming off last year and the start that you guys have had this year?
I just think it's just the confidence level between our team. I mean, we just believe that we're going to go and win every game, accept every challenge that may come against us. I just think we're just ready, and I just think we just believe in each other, and we're just ready to go every week.
What has been some of the steps and some of the growth that you've seen within yourself here in year 3 for you as the starting quarterback?
What I like, my growth really, just me watching film. I watch a lot of film, and I think that's just translating in every game. I just know what's going to happen. I see what's going to happen. So it's like me watching film just really been on another level this year.
And watching that film, obviously this week got to watch the Martinsburg film. What have you seen from them so far?
They're good. They got athletes all over the place. They got a really good D-line, O-line. I just think we're ready to accept the challenge. I think if we just do what we do and play how we've been playing, I think we can shock some people if we just do what we need to do.
A lot of doubters, obviously, within the state when you look at this matchup. For you guys on your side, people always will say that Martinsburg should get the job done. What do you have to say to those doubters, though?
Honestly, nothing. I just want to go and prove them wrong this week. Just we got to do what we got to do. They're gonna do what they've been doing. They got the athletes. Apparently, they got better athletes than us. So we're just gonna go out and do what we've been doing and see if we can come out with a win Friday.
What are you most excited about in this matchup, and what should people be looking forward to from you and your team?
I'm ready. I'm just ready to accept this challenge because no one thinks we can win this. Only us. Only people on this team that believe that we can win is us. So I'm just ready that we just go out and prove them wrong, and honestly, just ready to shock the world.
All right, Max. Anything else, man?
No, sir.
Appreciate it and good luck.
Thank you.
As I'm now joined by Martinsburg Bulldog Nick Buskey, running back and linebacker. Nick, let's start off 2 weeks ago. You have previously already really come to the scene, but last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm just restarting. So now joined in the huddle by Nick Buskey of the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Nick, 2 weeks ago against the Washington Patriots, you had a really big game on both sides of the ball. Just walk us through that and go from there.
Yeah. Well, first off, I got to thank my linemen because, they make the holes for me. And then after that, I just got to get through I just got to read the line and hit the right hole, and then I just got to go from there.
About midway through the season, you really came out as that running back number 2 to be a 1-2 punch, along with Coy Fagan in the backfield, with Murphy leading the way at the quarterback. Just talk about your skill set that you feel like complements the backfield for the Bulldogs.
I think I'm more of like a inside runner, and I think Coy is like an outside runner. And with that combo, you can choose each way you want to go. I think that's a good duo right there.
And then you on the defensive end, really being a linebacker, but also an edge rusher, a lot of sacks so far this year. Just talk about that side of the ball and what you feel like your strengths are.
My strengths, I think I'm pretty good at like the blitzes that Coach Hass calls. He calls good blitzes, and then because he trusts me to go back there and make the sack.
Which side of the ball do you like more and why?
I'd probably say offense. I'd rather score and get the points. I think that's pretty fun to do. But defense, I feel like I've liked a lot more this year because being on the side and like making a lot of sacks is also pretty fun to do.
What are you looking forward to this week?
It's a pretty big game, so we got to stay focused, and then we just got to play how we usually do.
What have you seen off film so far from Spring Mills?
Max, the quarterback, he likes to run a lot, so we got to do a good job on containing him.
What were some of the goals that you had in place for you this year?
I just got to try to play my best, get as many touchdowns and tackles as I can, and then, yeah, that's about it.
Anything else, Nick?
No, that's it.
Appreciate the time and good luck.
Thank you.
This is our player interviews brought to you by the Mary's Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy, located at 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Call them today at 304-263-4343. We'll be back for more of our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show right after this. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
Hello and greetings from the Martinsburg High School Alumni Association.
Hi, I'm Anita Ridenour Cooper.
And I'm Larry Cooper, also known as Coach Coop. We're here to represent the MHS Alumni Association, and it's dues time, and we would like to remind you
that there's now a new way to send your dues in. And it's through the website, which is www.mhsbulldog.alumni.com. That's MHSBULLDOGALUMNI.com, and it's a secure website. But we also still have the post office address, which is 3007, the post office box in Martinsburg, West Virginia, the zip code 25402. Now, we still have Dale Hicks as our treasurer. That's why we had that 007 in that post office box 3007. He's not James Bond, but we do have Dale Hicks.
So remember, the dues are $10, or if you're willing to give a little bit more, or we will accept any donations that will go toward the school and the kids for their scholarships. We need them to have it for their scholarships. And remember, the picture you have right here is we want the kids to be the top dog. So if you're willing to help us, let's be the top dog for MHS Bulldogs. We want to thank Colin and R&R and TV10, and we also want to thank the administration. So from the Alumni Association, thank you and help us.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 8 new providers who've joined University Health Associates East and our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center. Physician's Assistant Casey Wiebel, Emergency Medicine, Dr. Mark Seymour, Anesthesia, Dr. Farman Ali, Neurology, Dr. Christopher Redman, Rheumatology, Dr. Sierra Hart, Emergency Medicine, Physician's Assistant Carly Kremer, Cardiology, Nurse Practitioner Jennifer Gorgal, General Surgery, and Nurse Practitioner Corey Lapai, OBGYN. Welcome to WVU Medicine.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Heffley Motor Company off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. If you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. The Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
To the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Let's now get into tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. First, for the visiting Spring Mills Cardinals offense, at left tackle you have number 52, Prophet Guillaume. At left guard, number 61, Elijah Gaynor. Center, number 56, Braden Kirk. Right guard's number 67, Peyton Neff. Your right tackle is number 75, Anthony Williams. Starting quarterback tonight for Spring Mills, number 15, Max Anderson. Your running back is number 24, Alex Eaton. Wide receivers, number 14 tonight, Xavier Anderson. He's wearing 14 instead of number 4. Number 2 is Keon Mills, and number 13 is Hope Boquay. On the defensive end up front, 3-man front for the Cardinals. You have Anderson, Williams, and Guillaume. Your linebackers are Nate Graham, Isaiah Eaton, and Nico Lober. Corners are Isaiah Wang and Keon Mills. At spur, it's Alex Eaton. Bandit is Jason Schreiner. And then your free safeties, Max Anderson. For Martinsburg, same lineup as usual. Up front, E.J. Hendricks, Brady Breeden, Peyton Kaufman, Rashad Reed, and LaDanian Weller. quarterback's Murphy Clement. Running back will be Coy Fegan to get the start, as well as Nick Buskey going in and out. Your receivers tonight, Sarad Musgrove, Buzz Dover, Malachi Williams, Tyon Jacobs, Kyrie Bunny, all rotating around. Again, no Cash Gideon this week. He is still currently injured, unfortunately for him. Defensively, you have Xerxes Yancey, Rashad Reed, Will Bass, E.J. Hendricks up front. Your linebackers are Coy Fegan, Brady Hager, and Tyon Jacobs. Corners are Buzz Dover and Sarad Musgrove, and your safeties are Cash Gideon and Murphy Clement. That is your starting lineups, brought to you by Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers. We'll step aside, take another 2-minute break here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, and on the other side of that break, we'll get you tonight's officials as well as our keys to the game. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game. Let's go.
Coming up next, it's the starting lineups, opening kick, and play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football. Today's game is being brought to you by
Orsini's Home Store, Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, The Palace Lounge, CMA Honda, Bechtel Jewelers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, the Heffley Motor Company, W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Auto Group, Ollie's VIP Lounge, and the Gary Kelly Allstate Insurance Agency.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
We welcome you back to Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium as the Spring Mills Cardinals take the field first over to the far sideline. Let's get into tonight's keys to the game, as the key to your next car is brought to you by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing. Dylan, what are tonight's keys of the game for both sides?
I think for Spring Mills, you have to win the turnover battle. You cannot give Martinsburg those extra possessions when they are so dangerous on offense. And make tackles in the back seven. You got to be able to keep guys like Buzz Dover and Sarad Musgrove from breaking tackles and turning a 5-yard play into a 10, 15, 20-plus yard play. And Max Anderson, got to be a star tonight. He's your star player. Stars need to play like stars in big games for you to get the wins. For Martinsburg, kind of in the same deal, got to make Max Anderson one-dimensional. If you can take away the legs, make him pass the ball, make him a little more predictable, it's a lot easier to stop a dual-threat quarterback. And, of course, as always, Martinsburg, stay disciplined. Don't turn the ball over. Don't commit penalties. Penalties have been an issue in some earlier games this year, not so much the last couple, but they need to stay away from a whole lot of penalties.
As the Martinsburg Bulldogs take the field tonight, it is a West Virginia Army National Guard Gridiron Series game. The only one for Martinsburg this year that they are the home team for, which means they are wearing the special digital camo uniforms with black numbers on the front and back outlined in gold, the black pants, and the traditional black helmets for Spring Mills. All white uniforms with the blue helmets and white face mask as well. While the team captains meet at the 50-yard line to shake hands and do the coin toss, let's get tonight's intro to game officials, brought to you by Brown Funeral Home and Cremation, Robert Fields & Sons, family-owned, full-service funeral home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson, proudly serving our area since 1880. Tonight's officials here for Martinsburg against Spring Mills. Your head referee is Joseph Kovacs. Linesman is Keller Martin. Back judge is Kim Reed. The umpire is Faye Slaughter, and your line judge is Brian Costello.
Part of the reason that Spring Mills is going to have to be extra careful when it comes to turning the ball over is the weather. We're just starting to have some rain come down now. Within the last hour or so, that'll make things tougher. If that lasts throughout the game, it'll make it harder to hold on to the ball. It'll be harder to pass the ball. It might turn into more of a rushing battle than even we thought, even though Spring Mills likes to run the ball with Max Anderson. And Martinsburg likes to do the same with Murphy Clement.
Looks like Spring Mills won the toss. They decided to defer to the second half, which means Martinsburg will receive the opening kick and defend the left side end zone towards South Middle School. Spring Mills will kick off and defend the right side over down towards the south end of the county. So we get ready here, your opening kickoff brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward as we get you ready for action between the undefeated Martinsburg Bulldogs, 7-0 on the year, coming in this week in the WVSSAC playoff rankings at 6th in Class AAA, taking on Spring Mills, who's 7-1 overall, and due to some strength of schedule and bonus points, one spot higher in the playoff rankings, 5th in Class AAA. Martinsburg takes the field first, as now Spring Mills will join them, lining up at the 40-yard line. Kicking off for the Cardinals is number 45, Fernando Reyes. Back to return for Martinsburg. All alone right now is Surad Musgrove. Musgrove more a little bit towards the near side hash marks, but right now standing at that 9 to 10 yard line. Reyes will spot the ball down at the 40-yard line on his orange kicking tee, right in the middle of the hash marks on the X, lined in white on the turf. Now take his steps, go back, raise his right hand, make sure both sides are good, and we are underway. It's a low squib kick that's going to bounce and be caught at the 35 by a Martinsburg Bulldog, and trying to run forward and gain a few yards. He does so successfully. It looks like in for that one for Martinsburg was R.J. Brown in on the carry. So
really good field position for Martinsburg to start out. That squib kick, it kept the ball away from Surad Musgrove, which is a pretty good idea when you can do it, but it was a good return by Brown.
So 1st and 10 for Martinsburg. Solid field position ball at the 46-yard line for Clement, the offense. Clement gets a snap. It's quarterback keeper. He tries to go up the middle, spins off one tackle, but just barely to get back to the original line of scrimmages. Spring Mills bringing the pressure and setting the edge, so Murphy Clement goes nowhere, makes it 2nd down and 10 with 11:40 to go in this first quarter.
That's certainly a promising start for the Spring Mills defense to be able to corral Clement before he's able to get any yards at all.
It's like they have 3 down linemen, but they are spread out wide and keeping, it looks like, 6 in the box with 3 linebackers. Clement shotgun formation, puts Fegan now in motion to his left, 2 receivers to each side on the 2nd down and 10. Clement gets the snap, dropping back the pass, floats a pass, almost picked off on the far side by Alex Eaton, slips through his hands and falls incomplete as Clement intended that pass for Coy Fegan in the flat, and if Alex Eaton would have caught that, it'd be 6-0 Cardinals.
It was just a little over his hands. He wasn't able to quite. It had just enough air on it for him to not be able to come down with it. That he had it read all the way. But yeah, Spring Mills is coming out in a 3-3-5 defense. So you've got yourself a nose tackle up front there, Anthony Williams. You got Xavier Anderson on the edge, kind of a 5 technique, on the outside shoulder of the right tackle, and then Prophet Gilliam kind of on the inside shoulder of the left tackle.
We have an official timeout, as it looks like there was something off with the wristband of Buzz Dover, so he had to get a brand new one. He's out on the far side all alone as a receiver. 3 receivers near side. 3rd down and 10. Clement gets the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Run out to the left. Has pressure, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield. And bringing him down was Zachary Bender for a loss of 2 on the play. And that brings up now 4th down and 12 for Martinsburg.
I mean, that's a perfect start. The Cardinals' defense. You can't ask for much better than that. I mean, I think Martinsburg is going to keep the offense on the field, but perhaps a pooch punt if Murphy Clement actually takes this snap.
We'll have to wait and see. You have Spring Mills with Max Anderson at the 40 right now, inching forward more towards the 38 just in case Clement decides to punt it. But there's 10 seconds on the play clock. 4th and 12. The offense is out on the field for the Bulldogs. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Snap. Fakes the handoff. It's Clement, and he floats the pass on the far side. It's caught by Fegan at the 50. Jukes past 1 tackle, has the 1st down and more on the far sideline, on across the 35. Pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So that is a conversion on 4th down for Martinsburg's offense. 1st and 10 now at Spring Mills' 30-yard line.
4th and 12. That takes guts. That takes a lot of guts.
And they went back to the play that they had on 2nd down, it looked like.
It was similar at the very least. Wheel route from Coy Fagan out on the left side. And that's why I talked about making tackles in the back 7 for Spring Mills. You could have tackled Coy Fagan right at the 1st down marker, maybe gotten the good spot and gotten the turnover on downs, but you missed the tackle and they get extra yardage.
10 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 30 for Martinsburg. Snap to Clement. Hands it off to Fegan. Fegan on the outside zone to the right side. Tries to find space. Pushes forward and now will be pushed back. He was able to gain 3 yards on the run, and that makes it 2nd down and 7.
That 4th down play, it was really just blown coverage. No one covered Coy Fagan out of the backfield running the wheel route. So it was a blown assignment somewhere, and that's tough because Spring Mills could have started, with that momentum, getting a stop, getting the ball in good field position around midfield.
My apologies. That's actually Nick Buskey in at running back, and I believe took that last carry as well. Snap to Clement. He rolls out to his right. Spring Mills sends a blitz. Somehow, all of them missed Murphy.
Wow.
He now runs to the far side and will go out of bounds past the sticks to gain. Let's see if he stepped out first or if they give him the 1st down. You had 5 white jerseys surrounding Murphy, but somehow none of them were able to get a hand on him and sack him.
It's just incredible balance and agility and vision to know how to pocket presence, really. They were all over him.
They say Murphy stepped out, it looks like, at the 22, so it's a 3rd down and 2 with 9.5 to go in the first. Snap to Clement, hands it off to Buskey. Buskey goes up the middle, has the 1st down out across the 15, and will be brought down at the, looks like, 14-yard line. So a gain of 8 on the play makes it another 1st down and 10 for Martinsburg here on the opening drive of the first quarter with 9:13 to go on the clock.
They talk about Coy Fagan, but Nick Buskey's been incredibly impressive running the ball this year. Feels like he averages about 7 yards per attempt every time he gets the ball.
2 receivers to each side for Clement. Gets the snap, dropping back to pass. It's a screen pass on the far side, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and it falls incomplete to bring up 2nd down and 10.
I actually undersold Nick Buskey. He averages 8.63 yards per attempt, 200 yards on just 24 carries so far this year.
That last pass intended for Buzz Dover.
He just dropped the screen pass. Like I said, it's a little wet out there. The rain's still coming down.
Yep, a little bit later now, but still definitely might pose an issue to the receivers who for the most part, it looks like, have taken their gloves off as well to try to counter maybe some slipperiness in their hands. But 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 14 of Spring Mills for Martinsburg. They send him in motion from left to right. It's a snap to Clement. He rolls out to his right, floats a pass, and almost intercepted as Martinsburg's receiver that the pass was intended for kind of had to go up and almost play corner, as that one going for it was Hope Oakway, and that almost looked like it was more of a pass to him in the air than Sarad Musgrove did.
It was kind of just bad luck that Boakway jumped up and really just ran right into the path of Musgrove. And it's not pass interference. He's making a play on the ball. He has a right to the area, but couldn't make the play.
3rd and 10. But we've seen this a few times now. They go with a float pass, and a few times here it's almost
they went for one of those
jet
motion sweep plays as the play happened.
Snap to Clement. He keeps it himself. Follows the block of Buskey. Goes up the middle. Lowers his shoulder. He's at the 10. Still on his feet. And is spun around at the, looks like, 4-yard line. So he just gets the first down with 8:35 to go in this first quarter. It's 1st and goal for Martinsburg at the 4-yard line. I see something neon green. Okay, it just looked like it was Max Anderson's towel. I wasn't sure if it was a new marking that we weren't aware of from an official or not.
And when I said in big games, stars need to play like stars, Murphy Clement on this first drive is playing like a star.
They go with the heavy set. Clement under center. He hands it off to Buskey. Buskey slips through 2 defenders, goes to the left and into the end zone. Touchdown, Martinsburg, with 8:17 to go in quarter number 1. It's now Martinsburg 6, Spring Mills nothing.
I believe that was Coy Fagan on that one.
You might be correct. My apologies there, as that was Coy going in for the touchdown carry. So that's his first of the night to make it 6-0.
That's that goal line package they go to all the time. It's tough to beat. They've got the guys up front to block.
Fagan on to hold the snap slow. The kick from Page is up through the uprights and good to make it 7-0 with 8:17 to go in quarter number 1. Martinsburg leads Spring Mills. So step aside, take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore, D.C. Beltway and 1/2 hour drive from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams, which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for $12 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $12.
We welcome you back. 7-0 our score here at Martinsburg High School as the Bulldogs lead the Spring Mills Cardinals. Samuel Collins on to kickoff for Martinsburg. And he sends this one deep, high end-over-end kick that will be returnable at the 10-yard line. It's caught going up the middle as the return man, Keon Mills, and he lost the ball.
They're going to say he was down.
Mills goes out to the 29 of Spring Mills. It will be a 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from there.
That
with
seemed like
8:12 to go in the first. Let's get our scoring drive summary quickly. Dylan, brought to you by Delegate Paul Espinosa as he's running for State Senate. He's an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District.
11 plays it took. 52 yards to go to the touchdown, 4-yard touchdown run by Coy Fagan.
Here we see a 1st and 10, first time tonight for Spring Mills offense. Anderson, quick snap, and immediately hands it off to Alex Eaton, who tries to burst with speed up the middle, but he's only able to lower his head and gain 2 yards on that one out across the 30 to the 31 to bring up 2nd down and 8.
it's going to be tough doing for Eaton, especially tonight. Max Anderson can run around here and make plays. We saw in the Jefferson game against Martinsburg, a lot of Jefferson's best offense was when Dylan Harridge dropped back to pass and then scrambled.
So 2nd down and 8. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 to the near side. Anderson gives the ball again. This time again up the middle goes Alex Eaton. And Eaton, it looks like, has the first down as he stumbles and is tripped up at the 40-yard line. So a pickup of 9 on the 2nd down and 8 will make it 1st and 10 for Spring Mills.
That time, interior offensive line, the offensive guards for the Cardinals just opened up the hole. Great blocking for Eaton that time.
Again, 2 receivers this time to the near side, 1 to the far side. You have a tight end lined up on the right side of the line. Snap to Anderson. Again, hands it off to Eaton. Eaton bounces off 1 tackle, lowers the shoulder into Malachi Williams, bounces off of him, and only stumbles for 1 yard after that out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. So a run for 6 yards for Alex Eaton will bring up 2nd down and 4. With 6:53 to go in this first quarter. It's 7-0 Martinsburg leading Spring Mills. It's a flag throw now on the near sideline, believed just to be a sideline warning against Martinsburg.
So that time Spring Mills ran a power play, pulled the left guard from left to right, be a lead blocker for Eaton. Carries of 9 yards and 6 yards in a row for Spring Mills. If the offensive line keeps this up, this gets interesting.
Yep, it looks like Martinsburg now stacking that box to try to counter it defensively. Anderson get a pass, sends it deep on the far side, has a man open by a step, but he overthrows him, and that falls incomplete as that pass from Max Anderson intended for his brother Xavier Anderson on the far side. They took the shot, and now it's 3rd down and 4.
Xavier had a step on Musgrove out on the outside. Again, Anderson tried to fit it in on the sideline, just overthrew it by about a step.
3rd down and 4, ball on the 46 of Spring Mills.
But you're willing to take a shot like that on 2nd and pretty short.
6:35 to go in the first. Anderson waiting for the snap from Kirk. He gets it, and he'll hand it off to Eaton. And Eaton goes nowhere this time on the run up the middle. As in to make the stop, looks like, was Will Bass. As he only got back to the line of scrimmage, that'll make it a 4th down and 4. And that stop will send out Spring Mills' punt unit. Out the punt is number 8, Rylan Swartz, but Martinsburg better be careful because he's also the backup quarterback. And he is definitely not 15 yards back. And it's blocked because of it. Rolling on the ground and scooped up by Martinsburg at Spring Mills' 42-yard line. 1st down, Bulldogs with great field position off the punt block. And I said this 2 weeks ago when it was Washington. If that punter is not 15 yards back, you give that easy space to gain for a punt block.
Martinsburg's asking for you to not do something as simple as that. You need a long snapper to be able to get it 15 yards back.
Saw it against Washington now. We see it for Spring Mills. 1st and 10 Martinsburg. Ball at the 42 of Spring Mills. 5:55 to go here in the first quarter. It's Martinsburg 7, Spring Mills nothing. Met gets the snap, fakes the handoff to Fegan, and now throws a pass to the near side over the head of the intended receiver, Buzz Dover.
Sailed it.
Goes incomplete to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, RPO there. Pulls it out of the gut of Fagan to try to throw the slant to Buzz Dover, but just came out of his hand weird. Wasn't a spiral. I don't know if it has anything to do with the grip that he has on the ball. Like, again, it's wet out there.
Yeah, the rain kind of more of a sprinkle now, but still coming down currently. It started about halfway through pregame, around 6:30. The snap to Clement. He hands it off to Fegan. Fegan has a hole, but will be wrapped up just shy of the 40-yard line at the 39, so a gain of 1 on that run for Fegan will bring up a 3rd down and 9 as Anthony Williams in on the tackle for Spring Mills.
I'm impressed with the front 7 of Spring Mills so far. And in the trench game in general on both sides of the ball, they've been able to compete with Martinsburg.
So Martinsburg goes with 2 receivers to each side for Murphy Clement. This time Fegan to his left in shotgun formation. They hand it off to Fegadu, reverses it to Musgrove. Musgrove on the far side has a first down, continues to push his way across the 30, goes out of bounds, but a flag thrown at the 35-yard line. I believe that will be a holding on one of the receivers on that far side of the field on Martinsburg to back up this play.
Yeah, we've mentioned it before that on long developing plays run to the outside, it's a long time for a wide receiver to hold a block out there when that's not his primary, skill. So things like that happen. I think it was probably Dover, or it might have been Malachi Williams. Dover's coming to the other side of the field now. So it was one of those 2 guys over there.
5:05 to go in quarter number 1. It's Martinsburg 7, Spring Mills nothing. Martinsburg now with a third down at the 45-yard line of Spring Mills. They have to get to Spring Mills' 33-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Clement gets the snap from Kaufman. Spring Mills sends a blitz. He steps up in the pocket, throws a pass high over the head of one receiver into the arms of another, and that's Malachi Williams making the catch and picking up the first down for the Bulldogs at Spring Mills' 19-yard line.
I don't really think that's who Murphy was trying to throw the ball to. I think he did overthrow his intended receiver, but luckily the routes intersected or close enough to intersecting that Malachi Williams was there.
Yeah, that pass, I agree, looked like it was for Buzz Dover, but went over his head, which we've seen a few times today for Murphy Clement, but this time Williams was waiting for it. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line now for Martinsburg, and a flag thrown at the snap, and it looks like it's an encroachment penalty. They pointed encroachment, but now pointing to Martinsburg, so that will back him up 5 yards.
Encroachment on Martinsburg, they're saying. So I think that means that someone on Martinsburg was lined up in front of the ball.
Right. 4:16. Clock winding down in quarter number 1. Martinsburg with the ball. And now whistles the halt action. Looks like an official on the far side is now going to
I think they
respot the ball.
Yeah, I think they only moved the ball back about 4 or 4.5 yards on a 5-yard penalty, and they were just making sure.
So now 1st and 15 from the 19-yard line. Or excuse me, that's the 24-yard line. It's a snap to Clement, and again, Spring Mills brings pressure. Somebody lost a shoe. It looks like it's somebody on Spring Mills' side that was helping bring down Murphy Clement, as a few guys wrapping him up. Nate Graham, the one losing his shoe, but it's a loss on the play. It's now 2nd down and long from the 26-yard line.
Man, again, Murphy tried to matrix his way out of that as best as he could, but there was just too many guys coming at him. The blitzes have been working for the Cardinals for sure.
2 receivers to each side for Clement. Yes, Fegan lined up to his left. Clement gets the snap, drops back, looking to pass, and will now run over to the far side, out across the 20, at the 15, at the 10, and will go out of bounds.
Come back again.
Flag thrown right as he was stepping out of bounds. You have 3 minutes, 14 seconds to go on the clock as it stops because of the penalty marker. 7-0 Martinsburg leading Spring Mills.
Xavier Anderson came close to beating Wes Hancock, or he did beat Wes Hancock around the edge, but it wasn't quite able to make the play on Clement before he was able to scramble out. But it's going to be another hole, or a block in the back.
So that backs up Martinsburg's offense because of the block in the back. However, where the penalty marker was, they still gain a few yards on that play. Keeps it 2nd down. It looks like the ball is spotted on the left side hash marks at the 22-yard line of Spring Mills. So that makes it 2nd down and 13 for Martinsburg. Clement takes the snap, runs to the left side, has a beautiful block in front of him from Fegan, goes out across the 15 and steps out of bounds, waiting to see where they mark him with 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Clock winding down here in quarter number 1. first quarter presented on TV 10 by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of Friends and Family Pricing, as well as Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880.
They gave him about 9 yards.
3rd down and 4 because of the 9-yard gain. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Martinsburg trying to make it a 2-score game. They lead 7-0.
Got Buskey and Fagan in the backfield lined up next to each other, both to the left side of Clement.
2 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Clement gets the snap, and he'll now run to the left side of the field. Has the first down, and then quickly steps out of bounds right as he gets to the yard to gain marker. So that'll make it first down, and it looks like goal to go because they have it marked at the 9.5-yard line.
I think so far Martinsburg's starting to figure out that their best offense that they've gotten going so far is running the ball with Clement. Just putting the ball in the hands of your best athlete and letting him go. And that's what they used Buskey and Fagan as lead blockers. Now they move to the right side of him. I wouldn't doubt if it's the same play.
Clement gets the snap, and this time, as Dylan just said, he goes to the right, follows those blocks, and now finds a hole up the middle, lowers his shoulder to gain a few more yards. They say he stopped at the 3-yard line to make it 2nd down and goal with 1:35 to go in this first quarter. Clock winding down. Martinsburg going quickly. Snap to Clement. Keeps it himself. Goes up the middle. But this time Anderson sets the edge. Kind of grabs his jersey to slow him down and then gets help from his brother Xavier and a few other Spring Mills Cardinals. So no yards gained on that one. Keeps it at the 3 to make it 3rd and goal. And it looks like Clement might have lost his helmet, so he's going to have to take a play off because of that. If you're Martinsburg, yep, it looks like they're going to use a timeout so that they can bring him back in. We'll take the timeout with them. Make it only a 30-second break, Nick Mack at the studio. Only a 30-second break as your score with 1:12 to go in the first quarter. Martinsburg 7, Spring Mills nothing. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We welcome you back to Martinsburg High School as we are at Coburn Field, David M. Walker Stadium. Martinsburg calls the timeout with 1:12 to go in quarter number 1 as they lead Spring Mills 7-0. Martinsburg has 2 timeouts left. Spring Mills still has all 3 here in the first half. 3rd down and goal. Ball at the 3-yard line of Spring Mills for Martinsburg's offense. Clement back in at quarterback after he lost his helmet, which is why Martinsburg used the timeout so he could be in for this play. Expect a heavy bunch out on the field as they huddle up now. Will quickly line up. Clement under center. Fagan at fullback. Buskey also at fullback trying to block. And that's a direct snap. Going up the middle was Clement, and he goes only to the 2 as the defensive line of Spring Mills holds them on the goal line stand.
No, they had Murphy on the sideline for that play.
Yeah. My apologies.
It was a direct snap to Fagan. It's these uniforms, they do have very hard. It's hard to tell the black number on the digital camo, but they just went direct snap Wildcat that time.
And now it looks like we're going to have a sideline warning called against Spring Mills. So now both sidelines have warnings against each other. So now
4th down.
4th down and goal. The 3.5-yard line. Martinsburg's offense stays out on the field.
This is a huge play for Spring Mills.
Fagan to his right, Buskey to his left. 2 receivers from the near side, 1 to the far side. Murphy Clement tries to see if he can get any motion up front. Looks at the alignment of Spring Mills. Now gets the play call with 8 seconds to go on the play clock. And a whistle blows on the far side, and that'll cause Spring Mills to use a timeout.
Gamesmanship.
21 seconds to go in this first quarter. We'll take a 30-second break with them. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Marius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We're back after Spring Mill's timeout. 21 seconds to go in this first quarter. It is 7-0 Martinsburg leading Spring Mills. Both teams now have 2 timeouts remaining. Martinsburg with the ball. It is 4th down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, so Martinsburg came out in the split back with Fagan and Buskey to the left and right of him. Then they checked to the formation they'd been using, both running backs on the same side, and I think they were going to run the similar play. Spring Mills didn't like the look, called timeout. And it looks like they're going to come out in the same thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been working on this drive.
So Buskey and Fagan lined up to the left side of Murphy Clement. As one receiver to his right, 1 or 2 to his left. He gets the snap, keeps it himself, tries to push up the middle, extends for the goal line.
That's close. I don't think they're giving it to him.
Waiting for the call. I think you're correct.
Yep. They're calling him short. Wow.
He didn't extend the ball out. If he would have, he might have had it, but instead, they say he stood at the 1-yard line. So he was only able to pick up 2. Spring Mills gets the stop and the ball with a 1st and 10, though, in the shadow of its end zone at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, Murphy's being smart there. He's not holding the ball out in case it can get, poked out, punched out for a turnover. And I think he might have just thought, I can shoulder my way into the end zone, which he just nearly did, but just a little short.
Spring Mills breaks the huddle. 15 seconds to go in this first quarter. Ball at the 1 for the Cardinals. 1 receiver to each side. You got 2, 4, 6, 7 men on the line.
This defense is a tackle for loss machine.
Anderson gets the snap, goes right up the middle himself, tries to follow the block of Alex Eaton, and he's able to create a little bit more space as he's picking up 2 yards to bring up a 2nd down and 8 from the, looks like, 3-yard line. As the clock reaches 0 here in quarter number 1. Your score at the end of the first, Martinsburg 7, Spring Mills nothing. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break, and then be back for quarter number 2. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, back in 60 seconds.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 8 new providers who've joined University Health Associates East and our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center. Physician's Assistant Casey Wiebel, Emergency Medicine, Dr. Mark Seymour, Anesthesia, Dr. Farman Ali, Neurology, Dr. Christopher Redmond, Rheumatology, Dr. Sierra Hart, Emergency Medicine, Physician's Assistant Carly Kremer, Cardiology, Nurse Practitioner Jennifer Gorgal, General Surgery, and Nurse Practitioner Corey Lapai, OBGYN. Welcome to WVU Medicine.
Welcome back as we get started with quarter number 2, 2nd down and 8. Spring Mills with the ball at its 3-yard line. Anderson in shotgun formation. He has Eaton lined up to his right. Snap to Anderson. He immediately will hand it off to the running back, Alex Eaton. Eaton goes up the middle and will gain 2 more yards for Spring Mills, which will now make it a 3rd down and 6 as he's able to just slip out up the middle to the 5-yard line.
They've gotten themselves out of the shadow of the end zone at the very least, some breathing room. That was a read option that time. They didn't block Xerxes Yancey. Anderson decided to hand the ball off.
So 3rd down and 6 from the 5-yard line. Max Anderson waited a little bit too long for the snap and They tried to get some motion, but looked like the snap count was not communicated well enough to the near side receivers, as that was Keon Mills as well as Hope Bilquay jumping for a false start. Half the distance to the goal puts it at the 2.5-yard line now for a 3rd down and 8.
It only changes your situation a little bit.
Snap to Anderson. He rolls out to his right, looking downfield. Throws the ball to the near sideline. Pass intended for Mills, but too far out in front of him, and it will fall incomplete to bring up 4th down as back comes out the punt unit for Spring Mills. And Dylan, we mentioned it last punt. It was blocked by Martinsburg, and they recovered it because it seemed like the kicker, or the punter, Rylan Schwartz, wasn't 15 yards back. Now if he's 15 yards back, he's standing out of the end zone. So he can't.
Now you can see that if you're watching on TV 10, Spring Mills is way more packed in when it comes to blocking this one.
We'll see if Martinsburg sends pressure, if they want to make sure it gets into Sherrod Musgrove's hands so maybe he can score a touchdown. So we wait for the snap back. It goes to Schwartz, and it slips through his hands and into the back of the end zone, off the goal posts and into Rick Kozlowski. I don't want to see Rick punt either, but that becomes a safety. Makes it 9-0 Martinsburg now with 11:03 to go in quarter number 2.
If
you ever think Kaz from the Journal has punted in his life?
If Kaz ends up with the ball, you know something's gone wrong. That's all I know.
So 9-0 now, Martinsburg in the lead. We'll keep it here as Spring Mills will quickly get ready to kick this one away after the safety from the 20-yard line.
So it was a tough situation there because, you get the stop at the goal line, but then you can't be aggressive in your play calling at all because of Martinsburg's defensive line. You don't want to get a safety. Obviously, that's how it ended up, but it was because of a mistake on the punt. But it was tough, and then backing up 2.5, 3 yards on 3rd down because of a false start. Little mistakes like that, they add up. Death by 1,000 cuts. It can be a thing.
And now that makes our statistic that we were told about 44 points for Martinsburg's defense compared to 40 given up as Schwartz punts the ball after the safety. It's caught by Fegan at the 30-yard line. He tries to reverse fields. Still going at the 40, and every referee, it looks like, on this one has thrown his flag as Fegan continues to dance around on the far side and will finally be brought down at the 50-yard line.
The rare 3-flag penalty.
The trifecta of flags.
Right.
And now he's a 4th, just because why not?
That one's definitely at the end of that's something extra.
That referee just felt left out.
He didn't really like the triangle that they made out of the flags. He really wanted a quadrilateral.
So we're now 4 for 5 on flags thrown.
Yeah.
Quarter number 2, 10:51 to go. As your second quarter, brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com, as well as Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. So we have an illegal block in the back. That will be declined. Another illegal block in the back. That one also declined. A 3rd block in the back. That one accepted, I believe.
Yeah, there's definitely multiple illegal blocks on that return. You could just tell by where they're thrown while they were happening.
You could also see them, too.
Right, exactly. So not quite the great field position that they could have had for Martinsburg. If you're Spring Mills, you can still take the silver lining that the Bulldogs offense got to the goal line and only came away with 2 points in the end after the safety instead of 7.
So here we go. We got word of our 4th penalty on sportsmanlike conduct against Martinsburg. So all 4 flags against the Bulldogs. 2 of them declined, both illegal block in the backs. The 3rd block in the back accepted, and then they'll tack on the unsportsmanlike. So even though Hoy Fegan eventually reached the 50-yard line on that punt from the safety, they will start with the ball at Martinsburg's 15-yard line.
Oh, wow. They could have had it in midfield. So they got to go 85 yards for this one. I mean, we've seen them go further.
So 9-0. Martinsburg leads. They have the ball after the safety. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side for Murphy Clement. He gets the snap. It's a screen pass on the near side, and it's caught, but immediately Alex Eaton brings down the receiver, Sarad Musgrove. A loss on the play on the screen pass, backs up Martinsburg 4 yards to make it 2nd down and 14 at the 11.
And that's only Murphy's 3rd completion. He went 2 for 6 with 52 yards in the first quarter. And one of those passes, you would say, probably was off the mark, but ended up in the hands of a receiver anyway. So it's been mostly the ground game so far.
2nd down. Spring Mills goes with the blitz. It's a handoff from Clement to the running back, Coy Fegan. Fegan goes up the middle with a great hold by the offensive line out across the 15 and will be tackled at the 18-yard line. That'll make it 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Spring Mills brought the blitz that time from the safeties off the side, the Spur and the Bandit, but it was the outside blitz, and the run came up the middle, so it didn't really help them out as much there.
3rd and 7, 9.5 minutes to go in quarter number 2. It's Martinsburg 9, Spring Mills nothing. Three receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Clement gets the snap. It's a speed option. Pitched up behind him to Fegan. Fegan runs to the far side, and it looks like only picks up 2 yards on that one. And that'll make it a 4th down and 3.
You've made it manageable enough to where you can go for it if you'd like. And I think they will. Worked out earlier in the game. But it's a good opportunity for Spring Mills. They make this stop. They have the ball around the red zone.
So 4th and 3. Ball at the 22. Martinsburg going for it. Or they're just trying to get some motion, and now we'll call a timeout instead. So Martinsburg will have 1 timeout remaining. Let's take it with them, a 30-second break here in quarter number 2 with 8:33 to go. It is Martinsburg 9, Spring Mills nothing. Step aside, take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Back here at Martinsburg, 9-0. The Bulldogs on top of the Spring Mills Cardinals after the timeout called. So Martinsburg has 1 timeout left. Spring Mills still has 2 here in the second quarter. It is 4th down and 3 for Martinsburg. Ball at its 22-yard line. And it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there again. You have 1 receiver on the near side, 2 to the far side. Clement has Buskey and Fegan in the backfield alongside him to his left and right. And now they transition over quickly. It's a snap to Fegan, and he's going to punt it. It's a low wobbler on the far side, bouncing at Spring Mills 45, goes to the 40, and will roll out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
That's what I figured they would do on the first time around when they went for it on 4th down. That one was a 4th and 12. This was a 4th and 3. Granted, a little bit of different field position, about midfield versus your own 20. But hey, here's Spring Mills now. Offense is back out. Had a pretty solid first drive running the ball on a handful of plays. Couldn't get all the way down the field. Now they're not starting at their own goal line. They can be a little aggressive in their play calling.
2 receivers for the far side of the field, 1 to the near side for Max Anderson. Gets a snap, play action pass, and it's in the flat, dumped out to the intended tight end through his hands of Austin Spinks, and incomplete. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. That was a great play design, just unfortunately not executed successfully for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's 0 for 3 for Anderson throwing the ball so far, and that one certainly wasn't really his fault. Maybe it could have been a slightly better throw, but you got to catch that.
Yep.
You got to. And he would have gotten a solid gain, if not a first down.
Snap back to Max Anderson. Handed off to his running back, Alex Eaton, and Eaton twisted up and brought down after a gain of 1. Bringing him down was Buskey as well as Rashad Reed on the stop. Now Reed will come out for a play going in as Wes Hancock. It is 3rd down and 9, 8 minutes to go in this second quarter. Spring Mills has the ball at its 39-yard line for this 3rd and 9.
Spring Mills was able to get 17 yards on its first 3 carries, and they've gotten only 5 on their last 4. So I wonder if the Bulldogs' defensive line is starting to shore itself up.
Spring Mills breaks the huddle. This time has a tight end and an H-back lined up on the left side. 1 receiver to each side. They send a man in motion. It's Mills now from right to left. Anderson gets the snap, dropping back the pass. Runs into a lineman, now scrambles over to the near side. Chucks it deep, has a man wide open. It's caught at the 35 on the near sideline. Slipping through a tackle and going into the end zone. Touchdown, Zachary Bender to make it 9-6 with 7:18 to go here in the second quarter. Great job by Max Anderson to keep that play alive, Dylan, for Spring Mills.
The play call there, rolling out Max Anderson to his weak side, left hand, where normally you'd have to, spin and turn his body to chuck it, but he runs into the defender, makes a play, a fantastic throw on the run. Stars got to play like stars. And that was
is up, but flags thrown. And it's an encroachment penalty called against Martinsburg. And we hear to our left side the
coaches up want to go for it.
The coaches for Spring Mills want to go for it, and it looks like they're going to.
Yep.
So that puts the ball at the...
You only need about 1.5 yards instead of 3 now. It might not seem like a big difference, but it can be.
So, ball at the 1.5-yard line. It is 9-6 with 7:18 to go in the second quarter.
Just a fantastic play by Max Anderson. Zachary Bender, too, to be able to get open down the field. He's really the backside wide receiver that you wouldn't really think is going to make a play on that route. But Anderson rolling back out, making something happen out of system, out of structure.
Max Anderson at quarterback gets the snap, keeps it himself, tries to go up the middle, and runs right into a wall of Martinsburg defenders. So the 2-point conversion is no good, and that'll keep it a 9-6 ball game. We'll step aside, take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 back in 30.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Welcome back. 9-6 now. Martinsburg still in the lead over Spring Mills. Spring Mills went for 2. It was no good, so that keeps it a field goal game. Is now on to kickoff for the Spring Mills Cardinals is Fernando Reyes. Back to return for Martinsburg, Sarad Musgrove. The last kickoff, it was just a short squib kick right up the middle, trying to keep it away from Musgrove. We'll see if Spring Mills takes that approach again or not. Now Schwartz also lined up close to Reyes. See if maybe he goes for the kick. No, it will be Reyes. And this time he sends an end-over-end kick into the air, caught at the 20-yard line on the near side by Martinsburg. Out across the 40 now, Spegan at the 50. Out across Spring Mills 45. And he's brought down at the 43-yard line. Great return there by Coy Fegan to have solid field position for the Bulldogs offense.
It's a great strategy for the kickoff unit that they have Sarad Musgrove back at about the 10, but up at about the 20 and a little more to the right side has been Coy Fegan. And he is a great kickoff returner. That straight line speed, acceleration, And they start on Cardinals territory again.
Let's quickly get our scoring drive summary as fast as possible. Brought to you by Paul Espinosa for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District.
3 plays, 62 yards. They didn't get much on those first 2, but then it was the 61-yard touchdown from Anderson to Bender.
2 receivers to each side for Clement. Gets the snap, it's high, but he drops back the pass, has all the time in the pocket, now steps up, looking downfield, and pressure collapses, he loses his helmet. That's a clear face mask penalty on Spring Mills, as ripping the helmet off, incidentally, was Prophet Gilliam.
Yep, that was pretty clear there. Murphy did have Sherrod Musgrove open down the field. Would have been a tough throw, but he was streaking down the middle of the field between the hashes. Just wasn't able to see him as he was rolling out to his left.
Yeah, he had time in the pocket, but kind of ran over here towards the near side, and his blockers didn't follow, so that allowed 3 Spring Mills Cardinals to swarm Murphy. But the penalty will give Martinsburg the ball now at the 30-yard line of Spring Mills for a 1st and 10. Clement gets the stay in, even though he lost his helmet. Yes, Fegan lined up in the pistol behind him. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Clement gets the snap, hands it off to Fegan. Fegan goes up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Martinsburg. 6:42 to go in quarter number 2. It's now 15-6 Bulldogs.
Quick strikes, man. The Bulldogs offense, the flip of a switch, it can just kill you. It gets one hole, makes one guy miss, breaks one tackle.
Yeah, it was immediately into the secondary, it felt like. Bounced off one tackler and then juked past the last man to beat. And after that, here we are at 15-6. Fegan with his 2nd touchdown is on to attempt the PAT. It's Page, and the kick is up. That's good to make it a 10-point ball game now with 6:42 to go in the second quarter. It's now Martinsburg 16, Spring Mill 6. A 30-second break, and then we'll be back. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back. It is now 16-6 for those that might just be tuning in. Martinsburg on top of Spring Mills after Coy Fegan's 2nd touchdown of the game.
And it only took 2 plays to go 30 yards, or 45 yards with the face mask penalty. And then with that 30-yard touchdown.
Collins will kick this one to the near side, and it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback, as that scoring drive gave you is brought to you by Paul Espinosa for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Spring Mills offense back out onto the field quickly. Down by 10. Saw a beautiful touchdown on the last drive as Max Anderson was able to extend a play and find Bender wide open to the near side for the strike. He now has 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side for the first play of this drive for Spring Mills. Max Anderson gets the snap, dropping back, looking to pass. Shucks it deep for his brother, Xavier Anderson, on the near side, and he overthrows him by just a few feet. Falls incomplete to bring up 2nd down and 10.
I mean, that play call is not really giving Anderson a lot to work with. You're basically just hoping that he can make a great pass, which I'm sure over the course of the season he's made that pass to Xavier Anderson plenty of times. But against corners like Sherrod Musgrove and Buzzed Over, it's going to be a lot harder. He's not going to have 2 or 3 steps of room. He's going to have maybe half a step like he did on that one.
2nd and 10, 6:37 to go in the second quarter. Max Anderson gets the snap, hands it off to Alex Eaton, the running back. Eaton finds a hole up the middle, goes to Jacobs, and Jacobs wraps him up by the feet, brings him down out across the 25-yard line is where they say he was stopped for a gain of 5 on the play to make it 3rd down and 5.
See, to me, that's what you should have ran on 1st down. Get yourself in front of the chains. It's been a couple drives since you've really been able to get into a rhythm.
3 receivers on the far side now, or 2, and an H-back. 1 to the left. They send a man in motion from left to right. Hand it off from Anderson. Up the middle goes Eaton, and he's out across the 50, at the 40, at the 30. Is somebody going to catch him right at the 20-yard line? Somebody finally does, as there were 4 Bulldogs trying to chase the senior running back, Alex Eaton. That was Malachi Williams making the shoestring tackle, but a big run for Spring Mills. Gives them 1st down and 10 at the 21-yard line. It looks like they say Alex Eaton was brought down.
54-yard gain. He just broke through the middle in a hole between the guard and the center, and the second level of the defense linebackers had cleared out to the side, so the Red Sea had parted, and he didn't quite have enough speed to not get chased down by the Bulldogs.
So now they bring in Nate Graham. He's also a big guy, but they're going to use him for a block as the snap goes to Max Anderson. He keeps it himself, tries to go up the middle. Only will pick up, it looks like, 2 yards out across the 20 at the 19 is where they say he's brought down. So now they'll take Graham out after the 1 play off for Alex Eaton, and he'll come back in. But that senior 1-2 punch in the backfield complements one another, even though they use Graham more as a blocker in that situation.
I think that was pretty predictable. If they're the Martinsburg defense, to see Graham comes in and Anderson gets a direct snap.
2 receivers to each side. Xavier Anderson calling for this one up top. Let's see if Max goes to him or not. Sends Mills in motion from right to left. Max gets the snap, but hands it off to Alex Eaton. Eaton runs to the left side, pushes forward, and will gain 1 yard on this one, out to the 18, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
They're seeing if the red zone defense can come through for the Bulldogs. First time down here for Spring Mills. Offense gets a little different. The defense is compact in. You don't have to, safeties don't have to worry about being beat over the top by 40 yards. They've got the end zone at their back as an extra defender.
3rd and 7 at the 18. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 to the near side. Snap back to Anderson. Hands it off to Eaton. Eaton goes up the middle at the 15 is where he'll be stopped. They say his forward progress, it looks like, might have got him to the 14-yard line of Martinsburg for Spring Mills offense.
4th and 3.
Decision time now for Spring Mills.
I think you got to go for it. Even if your kicker is pretty reliable from this range, which would be about 31 yards, you need touchdowns. You don't beat Martinsburg with field goals.
It's 16-6, 4th and 3 at the 14. Spring Mills going for it. 3:30 to go in the second quarter. Anderson is set, gets the snap, hands it off to Eaton. Eaton goes up the middle, and it looks like he's going to be stopped short by Martinsburg by a yard.
The official nearest to us is giving them the 11. The far side one gave them the 12.
We'll wait to see, and
First
you're
down.
right. They moved the chains. Martinsburg not happy at all. Fans raining down boos. Spring Mills on the other side, bringing in the cowbells and the cheer.
Well, counterintuitively, the crowd on this side probably has a better view of the official that marked him a yard short at first, rather than the one closest to him, maybe out of view a little bit.
So 1st and 10 at the 11 for Spring Mills after the 4th down conversion. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Max Anderson gets the snap, hands it off to Alex Eaton. Eaton goes up the middle and has some space to slip through a hole, and he'll be stopped at the 6-yard line on that run. So a gain of 5 will make it now 2nd down and 5.
I thought it'd be really tough. Obviously, it's based on what we've seen. I thought it'd be really tough for the Cardinals to just run the ball straight up the middle with Eaton, the running back, and get a lot of positive yardage. I thought it was maybe going to have to be more read option with Anderson, but Anderson's run the ball twice, and Eaton is well over double-digit carries now.
Second down. Max Anderson has 3 receivers to the near side. They send one in motion. And he loses the ball. It's on the ground. It might have hit off the leg of a lineman potentially on the snap. We'll wait to see when the pile's cleared who picked it up. You have 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's Martinsburg 16, Spring Mill 6. I see no signal yet, not even from players.
That'd be a devastating turnover. I feel like Martinsburg fell on it.
Still no signal. Looking for the white hat. I start seeing now Spring Mill's players pointing. They say start rolling the clock. Why would you start doing that?
Must not be a turnover. Yep.
Okay, they say roll the clock, and now they point that it was recovered by Max Anderson. I just didn't understand why we hadn't seen a point yet on who had it or spotted the ball as to why you would then roll the clock.
I don't know. Spring Mills can get another first down here. First down markers at about the 1.5, maybe 1 yard line.
3rd down and 5. Minute 45 to go in the second quarter. Spring Mills breaks the huddle. 2 receivers to the left of Max Anderson. 1 to the right being his brother Xavier. The snap goes to Anderson. He hands it off to Alex Eaton. Eaton runs to the right side of the line, bounces off Hancock, and then brought down by another Martinsburg Bulldog. I believe that was either Jacobs or Yancey, and he's stopped at the 3-yard line, so that'll bring up a 4th down and 2.
The vision of Alex Eaton has been really impressive so far. He's able to find these holes that get opened up, and he doesn't have a lot of time to do it with the Martinsburg defense barreling down at him, those linebackers and defensive linemen.
Spring Mills going for another 4th down. 4th and 2 at the 3. They have to get to the 1. Martinsburg trying to make a goal line stand under a minute to go in quarter number 2. Anderson keeps it himself. Martinsburg sends the blitz, and they stop him.
Yeah, I think that one's short.
Will Bass is fired up as he's already pointing turnover on downs. We'll wait to see if the official, though, gives it to him. Last time, I thought it was short.
Like I said, they could.
I was wrong last
could get
time.
Another first down, but nope, not this one.
I was right this time. Martinsburg gets the goal line stand with 51 seconds to go. Makes it 16-6 still on the scoreboard, and the Bulldogs offense will have the ball.
Yeah, you try to put the ball in the hands of Anderson there because you can, in theory, get another extra blocker using the running back, but I think Martinsburg just saw it coming. Linebacker blew the play up pretty much immediately, came through the offensive line.
Martinsburg going heavy, quickly breaking the huddle. It's Clement under center getting the snap, and he's going to just keep it himself. The tush push, it looked like. Brings Murphy Clement out across the 5. His forward progress got him all the way to the 7-yard line. Yeah. Clock winding down. The play clock hasn't started. It does now, so there is a 4-second difference. But the game clock at 30, play clock at 33. So we'll see if Martinsburg decides to run a play or not. I don't see anybody really wanting to use any timeouts. So I think we might just head into the half, it looks like, with your score, Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6. And the reason why I said earlier that was a huge goal line stop, Spring Mills gets the ball to start the second half. So they could have made it a one-score game, get the ball next half. Never know what could happen from there, but it will remain a 10-point ball game as we hit the end of quarter number 2. And again, your halftime score, Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6. We'll step aside, take a 2-minute break, and then be back for our Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. This is West Virginia High School Football and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10. Back in 2 minutes.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for $12 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $12.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game. At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com as Martinsburg leads Spring Mills 16-6 here at halftime after a big goal line stand on a 4th down and 2 by Martinsburg's defense to get the stop on Spring Mills' offense to keep it a 2-possession game in the final 50 seconds of that second quarter, Dylan.
I have been impressed by the Spring Mills rushing attack. I did not think that they'd be able to do this much, especially just running the ball, handing it off to their running back, Alex Eaton, almost at 100 yards in that half. But the Martinsburg offense has been really running the ball well themselves. Coy Fagan has done himself well, running off a couple big runs, and there's just a couple mistakes here and there for Spring Mills that has made the difference. Not a lot of possessions in that half. 16-6, it went by pretty quick, but Martinsburg just little out in front. It was kind of a broken play that got Spring Mills their one touchdown, though, you could say. So you could give that in the favor of Martinsburg as well. You could say if that play doesn't happen, they get a stop at 16-0. And you're feeling really good about the Bulldogs. But Spring Mills is hanging around. Can they do it in the second half? They get the ball to start the half. Can they drive down again like they just did and this time come up with the touchdown instead of being short? Maybe they can. Hard to say. But if you're Martinsburg, you can say we need to shore up this rushing attack. Alex Eaton is getting a little too much on us. He had a 54-yard run at one point. You don't see that very often. Just a run up the middle, going for 50 yards.
You don't really see that total yards period because Martinsburg's defense only allows an average of 42.86 rushing yards a game.
Right. So that run outgained that right there.
But hey, you're still up 16-6.
Yeah, and I think you feel pretty good. You get that stop to start the second half, and I think you can kind of ball control your way through the rest of the game. The rushing attack has been impressive, Fagan and Clement, so you can kind of wear down the Spring Mills defense, extend that lead. They haven't really shown a lot of ability, Spring Mills, to completely stop Martinsburg from scoring. It's just taken a while, slowly going down the field, running the ball, instead of the big plays. But both sides, I think, have positives that they can take into the second half.
Let's now get into our first half stats, brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state area, they have you covered.
Start with Martinsburg. Murphy Clement, 3 for 7 with 47 yards. Passing the ball, had 2 completions of 26 yards, and then a screen pass that went for -5. Coy Fagan, 5 carries for 44 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Murphy Clement also has 11 carries for 34 yards. Max Anderson, 1 of 5 passing the ball, but that one completion was a 61-yard touchdown to Zachary Bender. and then he's only carried the ball 3 times for 5 yards. And Alex Eaton, mentioned he had that 54-yarder. In total, 13 carries for 95 yards in the first half.
So there you go. That's our first half stats as we are at halftime again. Your score, Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6, as Martinsburg tries to remain unbeaten on the season, undefeated against Spring Mills in the all-time series. Spring Mills 7-1, trying to get its first win, not only over Martinsburg, but the first win over Martinsburg by anybody in the Eastern Panhandle for the first time in what would be 16 years. We'll step aside, take a break here on our Mansion Freddy Law Firm halftime show. On the other side of that break, you'll hear from Nick Verzolini with our halftime scoreboard show. And spoiler alert, there's definitely one score that you'll hear that is a jaw-dropper here in a big game in Week 9 in the Mountain State. This is West Virginia High School Football and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore, D.C. Beltway and 1/2 hour drive from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams, which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Heffley Motor Company off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. If you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. The Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
We welcome you into the halftime scoreboard show. I'm your host, Nick Verzolini. Let's take a look at some EPAC scores here at the half. The Martinsburg Bulldogs, in the game you're currently tuned into, leading the Spring Mills Cardinals right now 16-6 at halftime. Jefferson taking on Musselman in a top 16 matchup, and the Cougars lead the Applemen 19-0 currently in the second quarter. Washington heading on the road tonight to take on Hampshire and has dominated the Trojans. Washington 24, Hampshire 0. Washington trying to pick up its third win of the season. Let's take a look at some other major AAA scores here tonight. The one that Colin and Dylan were alluding to as they sent it to halftime, or to me, I guess. Cabell Midland 21, Huntington 0. Not a whole lot of scores being reported as of right now, so not certain if these games are scoreless or there just hasn't been an update on them. But Spring Valley and GW, no score reported there between those two teams. That's an interesting matchup because Spring Valley is just a few spots out of the playoffs to George Washington, the 12 right now. So could have a lot of impact for teams like teams like Musselman, I should say, trying to get into the playoffs. Wheeling Park leading Brook. This helps the Applemen because Brook was a team that was sitting at 5-3, but was on the outside looking in due to their strength of schedule. And this loss certainly won't help them if they do end up falling here. Wheeling Park up 20-0 on the Brook squad. So Oak Hill on top of Bluefield, a AA school, 14-0, and no score reported between Parkersburg and Capital. Capital, even though they're 2-5, still has an outside shot at the postseason. They would obviously need a win tonight. Let's take a look at some other AAA scores across the state as we continue here on the scoreboard show. And Morgantown is beating up on John Marshall right now, 34-0. No score reported between Braxton County AA and Lincoln County tonight. Hurricane leads Riverside 14-0 in the second quarter. Greenbrier East trailing against Parkersburg South 43-0. And then let's see here what else we got going on. University on the road against Preston is in a fight, in a battle with Preston. It's 21-13 in the second quarter. And the battle of the winless teams between St. Albans and South Charleston is 6-0 St. Albans. Berkeley Springs, no score reported in their ball game here tonight, so that does it for us from the studio. We will send it back to Colin and Dylan for the rest of the halftime show. Again, our score here at the half, Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back on the other side of this break with Colin and Dylan for the start of the second half.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back here for the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. At the half, your score: Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6, as the rain here at Martinsburg High School is starting to come back down slightly. Some interesting scores that you just heard from Nick Verzolini around the state. The one that I said before going there might be a jaw dropper is that currently Cabell Midland is on top by 3 touchdowns of number 1 Huntington. So if Huntington were to lose, Dylan, they'd fall to 7-1. Martinsburg, if they hold on to this one, get the win, they are 8-0 and the only undefeated team left in AAA. And then that leads you to the question, if you know the math, you can figure it out. But if not, you have to wait until Tuesday afternoon to find out with the rest of us. Is that enough to make them number 1 or maybe number 2 in the state this week, with 1 game remaining on the schedule for the Bulldogs, that being Hedgesville next week?
It might be. I don't know the formula off the top of my head or anything like that, or maybe at all, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on.
That one to keep an eye on. As you also heard, Jefferson leading Musselman 19-7 at the half. Keep an eye on that with some locality intriguing us here as the Martinsburg Marching Band goes off the far end zone to our right. 5 minutes left on the clock here at halftime. Again, 16-6. Martinsburg leads Spring Mills in this battle of number 5 and number 6 in the state. Number 5 being Spring Mills, number 6 right now being the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Dylan, while we wait for both teams to come out of the locker room, as the rain now looks like might be getting a little harder outside, can you give us maybe some second half adjustments potentially, Dylan?
I'd like to see Spring Mills drop back and pass the ball a little more, actually. It might sound, kind of weird to think that when they've been running the ball a little well, but like I mentioned, Jefferson was able to get some offense going when they dropped back with Dylan Harridge, and even if the play wasn't open, Harridge was able to scramble and get 6, 7, 8, 9 yards. Max Anderson right now 3 carries for 5 yards, and they've all been, design quarterback runs just pretty much straight up the middle. It hasn't really done much for them. I'd like to see them try out that strategy. See if, you drop back with Anderson, and I don't mean these plays that they've been doing so far, where it's basically the play is just have Xavier Anderson run a streak down the field and see if Max can drop it in the bucket to him. Give me some depth to the pass combinations, the pass route combinations. Let Max make 1 or 2 reads. They've tried it here and there with play action, the pass out to the flat to the tight end that was incomplete on the drop. But let Max run around a little bit and make a play. He got a 61-yard touchdown out of a play like that. Can you replicate that multiple times in one game? Maybe not, but you can get some bigger plays out of it. And when it comes to Martinsburg, I think that, honestly, for the most part, they're doing fine. On offense, I think it's just the defense needs to collapse on the rushing attack up the middle. You can't let Alex Eaton run 54-yard gain on you. And even past that, outside of that run, he's doing well up the middle as well. The offensive line for Spring Mills is impressive. Bulldogs need to adjust.
All right, let's step aside and take a 3-minute break back to the studio, Nick. A 3-minute break, and then we'll be back for our second half kickoff. Your halftime score: Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10. Back in 3 minutes.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are. and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back and forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood, West Virginia is closing its doors forever. I'm Lori, and my father started this jewelry store 48 years ago. It's bittersweet for us to retire and go out of business, but we are so grateful to you.
I'm Dave. Stop by now and receive up to 70% off our entire inventory. It's our way of saying thank you to our cherished clients who have treated us like family for so many years.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday Night Lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for Steak Night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
We welcome you back here as we get set for our second half kickoff. It will be Martinsburg kicking off. Spring Mills will return. It is 16-6. Martinsburg leading Spring Mills as your second half kickoff is brought to you by Ollie's VIP Northside. The best local spot to catch sports or hang out with friends. Stop by 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP will see you for the game. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman's Daryl Miller. On-site producers John Alderton. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. It's Keon Mills back to return for Spring Mills. On to kickoff for Martinsburg, it looks like Samuel Collins. As Collins is sent to go, he raises his right hand into the air, and his kick goes into the air now, too. It's a high end-over-end kick that Mills will allow to roll into the back of the end zone for a touchback to start off quarter number 3 with a 1st and 10 for Spring Mills at the 20-yard line. Max Anderson and the offense of the Cardinals will jog its way out onto the field along with Martinsburg's defense. The last drive for Spring Mills ended on a turnover on downs with a 4th and 2 at the 3-yard line of Martinsburg as the Bulldogs defense made that goal line stand in the final 50 seconds of the second quarter. Can that momentum carry over to the third quarter? We'll see for the Martinsburg side, or if Spring Mills is able to get something going. Max Anderson takes the snap, hands it off to his running back, Alex Eaton, and Eaton only able to get to the line of scrimmage. So they say maybe forward progress gained about half a yard at best. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
If you're Spring Mills, I'd say you try to, predict the adjustment from the Bulldogs, that they're going to focus in more on Eaton and maybe run some more zone read plays with Anderson.
Especially with this rain continuing to come down now, picking up just a little bit. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 to the near side. Snap to Max Anderson. He drops back, looks to pass on the far side, and a pass on a quick slant intended for Xavier Anderson. Excuse me, that actually was Hope Boquay. Falls incomplete to bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and Anderson's just 1 for 6. Now, when it comes to the idea that I had of maybe having him step back and pass a little more and make some reads and potentially run the ball, that's probably the reason why you would consider going against it. It's the other side of the argument.
3rd down and 9, 11:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Max Anderson sees something in Martinsburg's defense, so he puts Eaton to his left, now sends Mills in motion from right to left. Gets the snap, dropping back to pass. Martinsburg sends a blitz. He floats it over to the far side. It's caught out across the 30, and picking up the 1st down for Spring Mills is Xavier Anderson on the 10-yard reception. He's out at the 33-yard line, so 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
That's the kind of play I was referring to. You know, if that breaks down and Xavier Anderson's not open, you at least have Max Anderson's ability to use his legs. But plays made, and a flag.
Flag thrown on the near side as a Martinsburg coach unhappy, and it looks like it might be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against him. It's one of the assistants being called with the flag.
That's what it looks like. There's already a sideline warning.
So with 11 minutes exactly left on this 3rd quarter clock, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Martinsburg sideline will move the ball upfield, and now another flag thrown on the near side. As Coach Walker went over to talk with one of the assistants. And I don't think it was something that was said to the ref, but it was definitely out loud, and that has caused another flag to be thrown.
Yeah, it was definitely whatever Coach Walker was saying to that coach he was next to. The ref heard it, and he didn't like it.
So back-to-back unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on Martinsburg.
30 yards of penalties.
And we're a minute in.
I hope whatever point you were trying to make to the ref was worth 30 yards.
And it looks like, I think, that might have been on both unsportsmanlike conducts on the same coach, which ejects him.
Yeah, I can't tell exactly who that is, but there's certainly an assistant coach from Martinsburg walking to the locker room.
Anderson gets the snap, play action pass. Over on the far side, it's caught, now picking him up and bringing him down, and that will draw a flag.
Wow. By the way, it was Tate Hash that was ejected.
That's who I thought it was. I wasn't 100% positive, but that was Coach Hash that's ejected, which he's the defensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure, which now means somebody else will have to call out the defensive plays. That pass was caught by Austin Spinks, and because of picking him up and bringing him down, that's the 3rd unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in a 9-second clock span by Martinsburg, and that will cause Coach Walker to call a timeout for the Bulldogs to try to calm things down, as penalties has really stacked up and almost put Spring Mills in the red zone. The ball right at the 20-yard line, Dylan. This has become very, very crazy here in a barely even started 3rd quarter.
Well, obviously the Martinsburg crowd here is upset, but without knowing exactly what Coach Hash said, it's hard to really, if those penalties were justified, it's hard to really say that any of them weren't justified. So it's self-inflicted errors. If so, You've given Spring Mills 45 free yards.
16-6, Martinsburg leading Spring Mills. first drive of quarter number 3. Spring Mills with the ball. They started at the 20-yard line after the touchback on the kickoff. They're now at Martinsburg's 20. They've had 45 penalty yards because of 3 Martinsburg unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. First and 10. 10:51 to go here in the third quarter. After the timeout of Martinsburg, they have 2 left. Spring Mills has 3. It's Max Anderson at quarterback. Alex Eaton, the running back, lined up in the sidecar to his right. They have an H-back lined up. That's Graham on the right side of the line. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side for Max Anderson. Anderson sends a man in motion from right to left. Takes the snap, hands it off to Alex Eaton. Eaton tries to follow the block on the left side, but runs right into Nick Buskey, who drives him back. They say Eaton able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so no yards gained on the play. Will make it 2nd down and 10 at the 20.
And on the 2 plays that they've actually gotten a run in this half, on this drive, it's been 1-yard gains both times. See if they're keying in on Eaton.
Spring Mills breaks the huddle for the 2nd and 10 at the 20. Anderson sends a man in motion. Gets the snap from Kirk, and again will hand it off to Eaton. Eaton tries to run out to the right, but is chased down and brought down for a loss on the play, as trailing him from behind and bringing him down is Wes Hancock. A loss of 3 on the play will make it 3rd down and 13 at the 23-yard line. Martinsburg's defense is fired up right now.
Absolutely, and you've gotten it to 3rd and long. Obvious passing down situation here, although at this part of the field, probably 2 downs to get the yardage.
Max Anderson gets the snap, dropping back. It's a passing play. It's a screen pass underneath, caught by Eaton to his left, and he goes nowhere on the screen pass. Martinsburg played it well. He's only able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll keep it 4th down, 13 yards to go at the 23-yard line of Martinsburg. I'm looking to see, it looks like Spring Mills going to go for it. It's a 16-6 lead.
Yep.
Martinsburg on top of Spring Mills. 9 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Yep, you're not going to punt from here. It'd be a 39-yard field goal. Probably pretty tough for your kicker.
Especially in the rain.
Yep.
3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side for Max Anderson. Max looks to the left, gets the snap, rolls out to his right after getting the snap, looking downfield, fires a pass, it's underneath and bobbled, falls incomplete as Musgrove breaks the pass up intended for Keon Mills, and that's a turnover on downs. Martinsburg gets the ball back, and the Bulldog fans, the loudest I've definitely heard them all season long on this stop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to come out of that unscathed, 5 yards of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and really, what did we only end up with 16 actual yards from scrimmage from the Cardinals on that drive.
So 8 minutes, 39 seconds here in the third quarter. It's 1st and 10. Martinsburg at its 23-yard line, up by 10. Clement gets the snap. It's a quarterback keeper. Clement has a hole, spins off a tackle. Now tries to keep his feet churning out across the 30, but his forward progress gets stopped at the 31-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 8 as Max Anderson stops the motion of Murphy Clement and brings up a 2nd down and 2.
That was not an easy tackle, by the way. Murphy had a full head of steam, and he nearly broke away from it and probably would have gotten himself an extra 10 yards or 20 yards or 6 points.
It's 2 of the best athletes, arguably, in the state clashing there on that play. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Snap to Clement. He'll hand it off to Coy Fegan. Coy Fegan bounces his way out to the left. Out across the 40 now goes Fegan, and he has the first down at the 41. A gain of 9 on that run as we have an injured Spring Mills Cardinal. Looks like that might be Nate Graham. He's up quickly on his own.
I think it's Isaiah Eaton.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I'm looking here now, and I believe that's Isaiah Eaton.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a 6, but that, is a 0 next to the 2, so my apologies there. So
already you can tell that the Bulldogs have a little bit of extra fire coming out in the second half.
So as Dylan said, Isaiah Eaton, the injured Spring Mills Cardinal, he's over on the far sideline now to be attended to. 7 minutes, 46 seconds to go, clock winding down in the third quarter. 16-6, Martinsburg leads Spring Mills. Martinsburg has a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line for the Bulldogs. Clement takes the snap, rolls out to his right, now stops, tries to send Buzzdover closer to him as it's a bubble screen, but Spring Mills was all over that one as Keon Mills just waiting for it to be thrown to Buzzdover so that he can tackle him for a loss. And that, a loss, it looks like, of 6, maybe 7 yards, as that puts the ball at Martinsburg's 34-yard line. So a loss of 5 to bring up a 2nd down and 15.
That's the second screen pass that's gone from -5 yards.
Spring Mills almost jumping off sides, but they're able to get back. If you snap the ball there, you probably get a free play.
Yeah.
Great balance there by the linebacker. I believe that might be Isaiah Eaton back out onto the field. Martinsburg waiting, 3 seconds to go on the play clock. They get the snap off at 1. It's a snap to Clement. He keeps it himself. Now runs, has a great block in front of him by Buzzdover. On the near sideline goes Clement. And they'll step out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and medium. It looks like a 3rd down and about 6, maybe 7 yards to go. They have to get to the 49-yard line. Murphy Clement getting the play call from the near side. You have Buzzdover, the lone wide receiver for the Bulldogs here, closest to us on the near sideline. 3 receivers on the far side. Coy Fegan in the backfield along with Murphy Clement. Clement gets the snap. Will hand it off to Coy. Coy tried to find a hole but has nothing. And wrapping him up that time is Anthony Williams on the stop. And that will make it a 4th down and 7 as Coy Fegan only able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I would probably just go with the pooch punt here, but maybe you're in that part of the field where you're okay, between the 40s. You're going for it, even on a 4th and 7. You picked up a 4th and 12 on your first drive of the game.
4th and 7, and receiver Malachi Williams didn't have the snap count correct, so he starts his route before anybody else moves. So that false start will back up Martinsburg 5 yards, put the ball at the 39 now to make it a 4th and 12. 5:45 to go, clock winding down in quarter number 3. It's Martinsburg 16, Spring Mill 6. Martinsburg, it looks like, will send this one away for a punt as Fegan shifts over. That one just tips off his foot, though, and rolls, and now bobbled by Anderson. Anderson picks it up, the 25, slips through one tackle, out across the 35 now. He'll be brought down by Malachi Williams at Spring Mill's 38-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Spring Mill's offense, who last time did get a lot of yards on that drive, but they were all off penalties, Dylan. They haven't moved the ball themselves, really, so far here in this third quarter.
No, like I said, 16 yards from the actual offense, from scrimmage, outside of those penalty yardage. They got the stop, though. They really needed it.
They did. Keep it a 10-point ball game at 16-6, 1st and 10. Max Anderson gets the snap, will hand it off to Alex Eaton. Eaton tries to go forward up the gap of the middle of the line. He's able to pick up a yard, make it 2nd down and 9 from the 39-yard line with 5:10 to go in the first quarter.
Every drive is going to be important in this second half. The way that these two teams are playing, their game plan is to run the ball, and it's churning the ball down the field, grinding the clock down. You're not going to get a whole lot of possessions. You didn't have a whole lot of possessions in the first half, so you have to make them all count.
2nd and 9 at the 39 of Spring Mills. Max Anderson has 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Running back lined up to his left. He gets the snap, dropping back to pass. Has all the time in the pocket now. Chucks it deep, and it's caught on the near sideline by Xavier Anderson, but a flag thrown, and Martinsburg saying that was offensive pass interference, and I thought I saw a push off as well, Dylan.
I think you're right. They went to it again, third time so far in this game, trying to get Xavier Anderson down the field against Rod Musgrove. And it was about the same results, I guess, outside of the push-off.
So that is an offensive pass interference call.
Again, Xavier's only getting about a step, maybe half a step on Musgrove on these plays. I guess you had to go back to it and try it again. This must be a big part of their offense, having not really seen it up close and personal in games before this. But against the Martinsburg corners, again, it's not as easy.
Waiting to see where they spot the ball after the penalty. It looks like they're going to mark it at the 24-yard line. So a 15-yard OPI from the 39 to the 24-yard line now. We'll make it a second down and 24. Max Anderson has two receivers to his left, one again to his right, that being his brother. Max gets the snap, dropping back, looking to pass again, now has to scramble out to his right, feels the pressure, breaks off one tackle, chucks it over the head of Keon Mills. It'll fall incomplete. And it looks like we have a flag thrown on the far side at the 30-yard line. And I'm waiting to see what this one was on the near side. It looked like, to me, Max might have been close to that line of scrimmage.
From the position of it, I wouldn't doubt if this is defensive holding
And
on
that's
the
exactly what it is.
On the far side, away from the action, really.
At least that's what I've seen the initial signal to be. We'll wait for the official one. And it looks like it is a holding against Martinsburg, Dylan. You're correct.
Now, it's not an automatic first down like it is at other levels of football. But it is a 10-yard penalty. And I believe that's 80 penalty yards for Martinsburg.
So it keeps it second down. There's 4 minutes, 9 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6 is your score. Second down from the 34-yard line of Spring Mills. They have to get to the 48. High snap over the head of Max Anderson. Ball on the ground, and both people falling on top of it. One's Max, the other a defensive lineman of Martinsburg. And whoever it is fell on top of it, waiting to see from the pile who that is. But the Bulldogs will have the ball just outside of the red zone at Spring Mills, I believe, 22 or 23-yard line. I think that's E.J. Hendricks fired up because he's the one that fell on top of that.
Completely flips the game around. It was going to be tough to get any points out of that possession, but the field position is just as critical against the Bulldogs.
And that's just unlucky, too, for Max Anderson because it went over his head.
Yep.
It hit his fingertips and actually came down behind him at his feet. However, the ball took a weird roll off the turf and went away from him, and that gave time to E.J. Hendricks to get there and fall on top of it. So we have a timeout called by Spring Mills. Let's give you our third quarter sponsors as we are presented on TV 10 by the Larry DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state area, they have you covered, as well as the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. So far here in this third quarter, both teams have now used one timeout each, so they'll have 2 remaining. It is Martinsburg 16, Spring Mills 6. First and 10 for the Martinsburg Bulldogs at the 23-yard line. Martinsburg has 2 receivers to the right side of Murphy Clement, 2 more here to the left side. Coy Fegan, the running back, to his right. The snap to Clement. He'll hand it off to Coy Fegan. Fegan off 2 tackles, trying to get through the last man to beat. and he stumbles and is brought down at the 6-yard line. That is some speed there. He didn't even give me time to say what happened, as he was already out across into the secondary as soon as he got the ball, I felt like, Dylan.
And that's the devastating part of that turnover is one play. The Bulldogs can rip off a play like that for 15 or so yards like nothing, out of nowhere.
I feel like I need to become an auctioneer to match the speed of my voice pace with the speed of Coy Fegan's feet.
Right.
Clement going to keep it himself, waits for a hole, tries to go up the middle, but bounces off a lineman and is pushed back. Looks like they say he was still able to go out across the 5 to the 4.5-yard line to make it 2nd and goal with 3:15 to go here from the 4 in quarter number 3. So now you have Nick Buskey jogging his way out onto the field.
I assume they're going to go back to what worked for them in the first quarter, which was just letting Murphy take the ball and using Fagan and Buskey as lead blockers.
So they're lined up to the left of Murphy. Clement, he gets the snap, will now run to the left trying to find those blockers and goes into the end zone, or do they say he was stopped just short? I thought I saw the ball across. Martinsburg fans did too, but the official says otherwise. That'll make it 3rd.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell where Clement landed, but I saw the referee right there, the line judge, immediately make the call.
He does have a better angle than we do, but
it's about as close to the goal line as it can get, is where the ball is spotted.
That is probably a foot away from the end zone.
If that.
Martinsburg huddled up. We'll see him go quick here. They break the huddle. It's Murphy under center. 3 people behind him, and now a flag thrown.
I think this is going to be some sort of illegal formation, yeah, on Martinsburg.
Okay, so it looks like it's a false start because...
So I think what happened there is one of the offensive linemen for Martinsburg, one of the extra ones, lined up on the wrong side of the offensive line, but he got down in the stance and then got back up. So technically he's already down and set. When he gets back up like that, that's a false start.
Yep, that's exactly what happened, Dylan. So that backs the ball up to the 6-yard line now. Ball spotted at the left side hash marks nearest to the Martinsburg sideline.
Just making it tough on themselves.
3rd and goal, under 2 minutes to go. Clock winding down. It's right now at 1:50 here in quarter number 3. Martinsburg 16, Spring Mill 6. 2 receivers to each side. Shotgun formation for Murphy Clement. He gets the snap. He'll keep it, run to the left. Bounces off one tackle, but is brought down right before the goal line by Keon Mills on the near side. And we'll wait for the pylon to be picked up and for the ball to be spotted. Looks like they say Murphy was stopped right back at that about half-yard line.
Yep.
So they go back to the same situation they had before the false start, but this time it's 4th down instead of 3rd down. So this time they'll say it's actually a full yard they have to go. You go with the tush push?
I saw Coach Walker give a little bit of extra coaching points to Xerxes Yancey on this play before he ran out there.
He's signaling to the referee that he's eligible. So keep an eye on Xerxes on the right side as the H-back, but instead it's a quarterback sneak by Murphy Clement. Up the middle, he goes, and we're waiting for the signal. Yeah. Touchdown Martinsburg. 51 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. It's now 22-6. Bulldogs on top of Spring Mills. The turnover comes costly for the Cardinals, and Martinsburg extends its lead here at home.
It was a little tougher than it needed to be, but they were able to down the field running the ball. Again, Murphy's thrown one pass in this quarter, and it was a -5-yard loss on a screen pass. They are just pounding the ball up the middle and to the outside with Clement.
Waiting for the extra point kick from Cody Page. It's the snap. Not sent back as we see some motion up front, and that is a false start against Martinsburg. So that'll back up the PAT unit 5 yards. So we have to wait for this to get respotted and for Page to put the tee back down. He'll put it at the 15 and then retake his steps.
some perspective on how much they're leaning on Clement. He's got 80 carries on the season coming into this game in 7 games, and he's got 17 in the first 3 quarters of this one.
Snap is back. It's down. The kick is up. And that extra point by Page is good to make it Martinsburg 23, Spring Mills 6 with 51 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We'll step aside and take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back here as Samuel Collins is set to kick off, I believe, for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Back to return is Keon Mills. It's now 23-6. Martinsburg on top of Spring Mills, trying to keep its undefeated season alive. Collins raises his hand and sends the kick deep. End over end on the near side. It'll bounce at the 4 and roll its way into the back of the end zone for another touchback to start off Spring Mills offense at the 20.
And it took 5 plays to get the 23 yards to get into the end zone. Ends up with the Murphy Clement quarterback sneak 1-yard touchdown. And suddenly it's a 17-point game.
Scoring drive summaries are brought to you by Paul Espinosa for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Spring Mills breaks the huddle 1st and 10 at its 20-yard line with 51 seconds to go in the third quarter. Max Anderson sends Mills in motion from right to left, gets the snap, dropping back to pass, pump fakes, now steps up, rolls out to his right, and will just decide to scramble. And eventually he's wrapped up by both of his legs. And then the final man bringing him down is Nick Buskey pushing him down. Anderson able to pick up 3 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 7 as we have an injured Martinsburg Bulldog. We'll take a 30-second break because of it. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Injured Martinsburg Bulldog is on his feet and hobbles over to the near side. I believe that is E.J. Hendricks. After the fumble recovery last drive, he'll get some fluids into him, take a seat on the bench. Hopefully he's okay. But we resume action with a 2nd down and 7 for Spring Mills at the 23-yard line. Snap back to Max Anderson. He hands it off to Alex Eaton. Eaton sees a hole just to the right side of the line, tries to go through it. He's able to pick up 3 more yards on that carry, and that'll make it a 3rd down and 4. And that will end quarter number 3. Your score, Martinsburg 23, Spring Mills 6. We'll step aside and take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We welcome you back here for quarter number 4 between Martinsburg and Spring Mills as the Bulldogs lead the Cardinals 23-6. Spring Mills Cardinals with the ball, 3rd down and 4 at their 26-yard line. It's Max Anderson, the quarterback, his 3rd year for Spring Mills. It's 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Trying to make the hard count work. He is unsuccessful so far. So they give him the snap. He drops back to pass. Now will scramble, trying to go up the middle. Runs out to the far side, out across the 25 he goes. Is able to pick up 2 yards on the quarterback run and gun. As it looks like Will Bass eventually bringing him down, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 4. Slowly it looks like the punt team will come out for Spring Mills. So far, it's not been a good night for this punt team. 2 blocked punts.
No.
Well, not 2 blocked. 1 blocked. 1 through the hands of the punter, Ryland Swartz, and into the back of the end zone. This time, though, he's able to kick one away just barely. It bounces at the 50. Takes a big roll, scooped up at the 40. Trying to reverse fields as the return man, but he's only able just to get to the middle of that 40-yard line stripe before being brought down, as I believe that's Musgrove in on the return. So that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs offense with 11:11 to go in this 4th quarter.
Nice tackle by Jackson Schreiner. Sirrod Musgrove is not an easy guy to bring down. This is a good opportunity for Martinsburg to put this game away.
They're up 17 at 23-6 over Spring Mills.
Really wind the clock down.
And they'll flip the play around, have 3 receivers to the left side of Murphy Clement, 1 to the right side, that being Buzz Dover. You have Nick Buskey, the running back, lined up to Murphy Clement's right side, who's in shotgun formation. Snap from Kaufman to Clement. They'll chuck it deep on this near side. 1-on-1 is Buzz Dover. Jumps up, has it, but drops it right at the last second as Zachary Bender applying pressure. As that falls incomplete, will bring up 2nd and 10.
Good defense. Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily it's a drop, but it did hit him in the hands. But
so now, after that, Dover will get a play off. Kyrie Bunny comes in to be the receiver on the near side to challenge Bender. You still have 3 receivers to the far side of the field for the camouflage Martinsburg Bulldogs. Clement takes a few steps back here. Gets the snap, hands it off to Buskey. Buskey bounces off 1 tackle now on the near side, trying to stiff arm Max Anderson, and he's able to wrap him down and bring him out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Spring Mills. But that is a pickup of 15 and make it a 1st down for Martinsburg, who wanted a penalty on that one but isn't getting it.
I don't think that's a penalty. It's a hard hit, but another great run by Nick Buskey. He's just been doing it all season long. Feels like it feels like more often than not his runs go for 8+ yards.
Clement takes the snap, dropping back to pass, steps up in the pocket, chucks it deep, and that one way off the money. It'll fall incomplete at the goal line. It's the receiver 5 yards behind it. That'll make it a 2nd down and 10.
Interesting. Let's call it interesting play calling on this drive. 2 deep passes from Clement when he was only 4 for 8 passing the ball so far, and you've really been churning the ball down the field, running the ball.
I understand that you want to maybe take the wind out of the sails of Spring Mills early, make them lose their confidence if you can put them away, but at the same time, time's on your side. Use it.
Yeah.
17-point lead, 2nd down and 10. Clement gets the snap, he hands it off to Buskey, and Buskey looked like had a big hole, but just gets tripped and falls forward. Still, though, because of the speed that he had, His momentum somehow gets him a 7-yard gain on that to make it a 3rd down and 3. If he wasn't tripped, I thought Buskey was somehow going to just break that one for a touchdown, Dylan.
Yeah, it tripped there. And again, still 7 yards.
3rd and 3. Again, they go to Buskey. And this time, there's no hole, but a face mask, it looks like, will be called. So you can see a grab. I think that was by Nate Graham. He tried to quickly take his hand off the face mask, but it was too little too late on that run. You have 10 minutes, 16 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. It's Martinsburg 23, Spring Mill 6. You can hear the fans below making sure that the refs know that's a face mask against Spring Mills. And it officially is, so we'll wait for the marking to see where they spot the ball. That looks like it will be spotted at Spring Mills' 22-yard line. So they say the penalty was at that 37 for the 15-yard penalty.
That's a rough time for that, but it would have set up. It would have been 3rd and short. We would have thought maybe Martinsburg can still pick it up, but can't give them the yards for them.
1st and 10 at the 22. Murphy Clement gets the snap. He hands it off to the guy to his right. That's Nick Buskey. Again, almost it looked like a face mask as Isaiah Eaton able to just grab him by the jersey and bring him down. It's a loss of 1 on the play. Make it 2nd down and 11.
Rare negative yardage for Buskey.
So now we have a swap here as I believe that is Brady Breeden kind of hobbling off the field, one of the linemen, and Will Bass will check in for him at left guard. Buskey lined up to the left to Clement, Fegan to the right, the snap to Clement, play action pass, hit as he throws, diving for it, and it falls incomplete. He's trying to plead the case that he made the catch, and I think he's actually going to get it. So that's a completion to the 12-yard line, and that was Coy Fegan from the backfield just on a little wheel route to pick up that one.
Kind of similar to how they picked up the 4th down on the first drive of the game.
So 1st down and goal to go for Martinsburg at Spring Mill's 7-yard line with 8:45 to go in quarter number 4. Clock winding down. It's 23-6. Bulldogs on top of the Spring Mills Cardinals. Clement gets the snap, runs to the left, still has space, decides to try to go forward. Now bounces it a little bit more to the outside at the 5 outside the numbers. It'll be brought down, but a flag thrown right as he was being brought down. And it looks like because of how long that play was, it is a holding penalty on one of the receivers of Martinsburg.
Yeah, that's another example of outside running play taking a while to develop. So,
right, Murphy, we've seen time and time again this year, has great vision, wants to wait, will go east-west, waiting for a hole to open up in front of him so that he can somehow find his way into the end zone, but that time just waited a little bit too long, and it resulted in a holding penalty, which puts the ball now at the, it looks like, 17-yard line, I believe. On the far side hash marks is where the ball spotted for Martinsburg. Still 1st and goal, ball at the 17. Clement, 2 men to his right, gets the snap, rolls out to his right, steps up in the pocket, floats a pass for the end zone, and it's deflected by Mills. Great job just reaching a hand up and tipping that one away from the intended receiver, Sherrod Musgrove, and it'll make it 2nd down and goal at the 17.
Yeah, there wasn't really anywhere open to go with that one. You kind of just had to chuck that one up and hope for the best. But other than that, you now at a 2nd down, 17. Again, just run the ball, I'd say. You can wear down the clock. It's going to be hard for Spring Mills, a running team, to come back with less than 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. Try to score 3 times, if not 4. Turn it down.
Thank you, Dylan, as Murphy Clement gets the snap. Spring Mills going with a blitz. It's a halfback draw, though, as Going up the middle is the running back, trying to see who it was. I believe that is.
I think it was Fagan.
Fagan in on the carry, and he's able, I think, to just barely maybe get a yard on that one. So that'll make it 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line with 8 minutes to go in quarter number 4. You have 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Still 2 running backs in the backfield, both this time now lined up to the right side of Murphy Clement. He gets the snap, will roll out to the right. Now tries to go forward as all but 4 defenders were rushing him. Didn't see who it was that eventually brought him down for the sack, but that makes it 4th and goal at the 19. And they'll credit that one to Anthony Williams, number 75 in on that sack.
Williams has been all over the place. Again, this Spring Mills team, obviously, we have high standards for Martinsburg, so when we see a team compete with them, we can be impressed all day long by Martinsburg, but when another team comes in here and doesn't get blown off the field, the bigger takeaway is usually, wow, look at how great that team did against Martinsburg.
Especially a team that the closest they've ever been against Martinsburg is a 55-point deficit. Right now they're down 17. And a timeout will be called with 2 seconds to go on the play clock by the head coach of Martinsburg, David Walker. We'll step aside and take a 30-second break with them. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 8 new providers who've joined University Health Associates East and our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center. Physician's Assistant Casey Wiebel, Emergency Medicine, Dr. Mark Seymour, Anesthesia, Dr. Farman Ali, Neurology, Dr. Christopher Redmond, Rheumatology, Dr. Sierra Hart, Emergency Medicine, Physician's Assistant Carly Kremer, Cardiology, Nurse Practitioner Jennifer Gorgal, General Surgery, and Nurse Practitioner Corey Lapai, OBGYN. Welcome to WVU Medicine.
We welcome you back. We're in quarter number 4, 6 minutes, 51 seconds to go. Rain starting to come back down here at Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium. It is Martinsburg 23, Spring Mills 6 in this battle of number 5 and number 6 in Class AAA. Martinsburg with the ball. It is 4th down and goal. Ball at the 19-yard line. It looks like Martinsburg will keep the offense out on the field. You have 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Murphy Clement. He sends a man in motion now from left to right. Gets the snap, dropping back the pass is Clement. And he'll float a pass for the end zone and pushed from behind the receiver, but they say it was not enough contact to warrant a flag, as that pass intended for Buzz Dover in the middle backside of that end zone falls incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs. Give Spring Mills the ball with 6:46 to go in regulation, a 1st and 10 at its 19-yard line.
6:46. That's all the time you have. Down by 3 possessions. You haven't really passed the ball incredibly well. It's a tough spot to be in for Spring Mills. Maybe they can make some magic happen, but this defense has been great this half.
Matt Sanderson gets the snap, dropping back to pass as Anderson now steps up as the pocket collapsed. Flag thrown as he has to scramble to the near side. Will be pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line as chasing him was Coy Fagan and pushing him out of bounds. So we wait for the flag here. 6:38 to go in this 4th quarter. Looks like the flag is thrown here on the near side around the 17 or 18-yard line. Spring Mills walking backwards. They realize it's against them, just waiting for the official to give the signal on what exactly it was. It's in the area of a holding, though, and that is what the penalty is against the Spring Mills Cardinals. You're already in a tough spot, down 17 with, at first, 81 yards to go. Now, ball spotted at the 10, so 90 yards to go. Anderson gets the snap, hands it off to the running back, Alex Eaton. Eaton breaks off 1 tackler at the line of scrimmage, now out across the 15. Brought down by 2 Bulldogs at the 17-yard line is Alex Eaton. He's had a good day in the backfield.
Absolutely. He had 95 yards in just the first half. But he's had some trouble getting things going in the second. And I think you mark that one. Before that, he only had 4 yards in this half.
Clock never started on that play. Only had 1 second off, then it stopped. Now it is running. It's at 6:26. Snap back. Dropping back to pass. And fires a dart. It's off the hands, though, in the middle. Pass intended for Bender, but deflected into the air by Buskey. It falls incomplete. So that one was a bullet by Max Anderson, just low. And now another flag thrown at the line of scrimmage, and it's another holding called against one of the linemen of Spring Mills. And that fires up E.J. Hendricks a little bit because he was the one being held on the outside here to our right side of that line.
They're just shooting themselves in the foot. They can't get anything going. They've had no momentum in this half. So it seems like they're just losing steam.
Still second down. Ball now back at the 9-yard line for Spring Mills. They have to get to the 29. So 2nd and 20. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Max Anderson gets the snap, dropping back to pass. Feels the blitz. Somehow jukes past the tackler, and now will just try to do it all himself. Runs up the middle, out at the 15, and waiting for him are 2 linebackers of the Bulldogs to bring him down at the 15-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 14.
It's a swarm.
So we wait for some subs. Spring Mills not really playing with any tempo, even though they trail 23-6. You've now seen 30 seconds grind off the clock. It continues to go down. Spring Mills still in the huddle, so now Martinsburg going to have a substitution. It's Tay Cofield going to check in to add some speed up front. So he goes in, I believe that was for Will Bass. 5:10 to go now. Spring Mills breaking huddle, under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Anderson trying to make sure everybody's set. 3, 2, 1, just gets the snap off in time. Now we'll fire it deep on the near side, and that is nowhere close to anybody. Has some miscommunication on that route. Wasn't sure if it was supposed to be for Keon Mills, who was 10 yards behind it, or maybe here on the near side if he thought Hope Boakway was supposed to do a go route. Instead, he did a stop.
No, that's exactly what it was. He immediately looked over at Boakway and threw his hand up like you were supposed to, what are you doing? You were supposed to keep going.
And that makes it 4th down and 15. And with 4:52 to go in this fourth quarter, looks like Spring Mills is going to decide to punt, and kind of feels like this one is almost said and done. Martinsburg sends pressure. The punt is away, and it's going to be caught. Nope, it's actually bobbled by Musgrove. And now he's at the 50 and will be brought down, and a late flag thrown behind the play.
Block in the back.
I heard a yell, but it wasn't thrown until 5 seconds after that.
It was thrown very late.
Maybe it takes 5 seconds for the yell to get from up here in the press box from the Spring Mills coaches down to the ears of the referee on the field.
Yeah, that might be it.
So that block in the back, caught against Martinsburg, will back up the field position here. Yeah, 4 minutes, 42 seconds to go in quarter number 4. We'll wait for the ball to be spotted and give you our fourth quarter sponsors, as we're brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com, as well as Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg or online at Orsinis.com. 1st and 10 for Martinsburg at its 32-yard line after the block in the back penalty. 23-6, the Bulldogs lead the Spring Mills Cardinals. Murphy Clement at quarterback with running backs to his left and right. They'll hand it off to the one to his right. That's Coy Fegan. Fegan finds a hole up the middle. Stiff arms a man now out across the 35. Brought down just before the 40 at the 39-yard line. So that'll pick up a 7. We'll make it a 2nd and 3. Martinsburg going to allow that clock to continue to tick down as it's on their side, up by 17 here against the 5th-ranked Spring Mills Cardinals. You got to keep an eye on everybody ahead of them right now. Cabell Midland, last time we reported in a close one. The number 1 team in the state, Huntington, was losing to the number 3 team in the state last time we checked, Cabell Midland. The snap, Clement hands it off to the running back, and now breaking through is Nick Buskey. Buskey trying to find some space on the far side, had one man to beat, and tripping him up was Isaiah Wang on the far side, but that's a first down for Martinsburg as Buskey able to get in Cardinal field, and that at the 46.
It's another 2 minutes you can turn off the clock. New set of downs.
So ball at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 on Spring Mill's side of the field. You have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2 men in the backfield alongside Murphy Clement at quarterback. 3:20 to go in this 4th quarter. Snap to Clement. He'll hand it off to Fegan. Fegan tries to follow the block of Buskey. Now breaks off 2 tacklers. Jukes past another. On the right side of the hash marks, in between the hash marks and the numbers at the 40-yard line, he'll be brought down. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 4.
I'm going to keep going back to it because, I mean, we'd sound like a broken record if we just kept talking about how great Martinsburg is. They're the best team in the state. It's clear tonight with Huntington's performance that that's the case. Spring Mills, this team's lived up to the hype. Martinsburg's just better. But the defense and the rushing attack of Spring Mills, I've been very impressed with.
Yeah. They've been held right now to 23 points, which, if that stands, would be the lowest Martinsburg's offense has scored all year long. But hold everything, because we're about to have a touchdown, potentially.
Maybe.
As
Almost.
Right as I say that, though, the last man to beat again on the near side does get to the running back. I believe that was Buskey on the run?
Yes, it was. Another 28 yards for Nick Buskey. It seems like every game, he ends the game with about close to 10 carries, and I can rattle off, he's got carries of 8, 15, 7, 14, 28. It feels like that's what he does pretty much every game.
So 2 minutes to go, clock winding down. It is 1st down and 10 at the 13-yard line of Spring Mills. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Clement has Buskey to his right, Fegan to his left. Gets the snap from Fegan. Will hand it off to Coy Fegan. Fegan tries to go up the middle. Excuse me, I meant to say that was a snap from Kaufman. Fegan only able to get back to the line of scrimmage to make it a 2nd and 10. Clock continues to wind down now. It's at 1:23. Play clock at 30 now, so you can probably get it down to about 40 seconds, which means this should be the final play of the game.
It could be, yeah. The way that it's running down, hard to do the math on a winding clock as it rolls down, but you can snap this at about 50 seconds. You might have to run one more after this one.
They hand it off to Buskey. Buskey runs out to the left. Bounces off a tackle now, dives for the pylon, but it's pushed out of bounds. That stops the clock with 50 seconds. He has the 1st down as he was pushed out at the half-yard line on the far side of the field. Martinsburg wants to potentially add one more. We'll see or if they decide to take a knee. It's 23-6.
Yeah, with the 1st down, I think it would be out of character for Coach Walker. I don't really expect Coach Walker to go for extra, unneeded points here, but it's not like, I don't really consider it bad sportsmanship if you do. I mean,
Martinsburg huddles up. They'll slowly make their way out. It looks like they're in victory formation. And there you go, on the knee. Spring Mills kind of goes quickly in there, and I think it was Max Anderson saying, "My bad, he didn't mean to make as much contact as he did with Murphy Clement. It wasn't anything excessive, definitely something that you probably shouldn't have done, maybe, but either way, they take the knee, and they waited to start the play clock, so it looks like that should be the final play of the game, and both teams will now head to the middle of the field to start shaking hands, as Martinsburg will be victorious on senior night over Spring Mills to improve to 8-0 on the season. Spring Mills falls to 7-2. As your final score, Martinsburg 23, Spring Mills 6. So let's take a 3-minute break and then be back for our post-game show. Again, a 3-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
The Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot are in a league of their own when it comes to rugged capability. Their relentless power and versatility make these vehicles the ultimate challengers for exhilarating adventures and formidable terrain. But it's not just performance that makes these cars special. It's the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA's moving lives forward.
Available all-wheel drive on Pilot based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Heffley Motor Company off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. If you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. The Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer!
The Mountaineer Pub offers many daily specials including Trivia Night Mondays, Karaoke Tuesdays, Steak Night Wednesdays and Sundays, Boneless Swing Night Thursdays, and DJ and or karaoke, again Fridays and Saturdays. And remember, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays through Fridays is happy hour with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Pub!
Here to Coburn Field as Martinsburg lifts up their senior team manager on senior night, Sharif Williams, known as Juice Man, as the Bulldogs remain undefeated, improve to 8-0 with a 23-6 win over Spring Mills, who falls to 7-2, as we welcome you into the post-game show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu, daily specials, and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Colin McLaughlin here alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman is Daryl Miller. On-site producers John Alderton. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini, who you'll hear from here later on in our post-game show. But first, whenever Dylan's ready, we'll get our post-game stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 south of Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. And if you want to get to Bechtel Jewelers, get there fast, because they are actually getting ready to close and have up to a 70% off sale because they are retiring. So congrats on retirement to the owners of Bechtel Jewelers. Appreciate them being a sponsor here as well. And Dylan, are you ready for our post-game stats?
Let's start with Spring Mills. Max Anderson was only 4 for 12 with 76 yards and 1 touchdown. 61 of those 76 coming on the 61-yard touchdown. So I actually do my math right there. That should be 77 from what he had combined. And that 61-yard touchdown to Zach Bender was his only catch of the game. Max Anderson also 6 carries for 15 yards. Alex Eaton, 18 carries for 99 yards at the end of the day. Murphy Clement on the Martinsburg side, only 4 for 11 with 42 yards passing. Didn't really have much of anything going there, but it was a rushing attack for the Bulldogs. Fagan goes 12 carries, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. Murphy goes 18 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Nick Buskey goes 9 carries for 87 yards.
So I know you just said Eaton, 96 yards, right?
99.
99 yards? I think you said at halftime he only had 95, so only 4 total yards in that second half. That just shows you how well Martinsburg's defense played, as they were also able to pitch that second half shutout as they improved to 8-0 with the 23-6 win. Any other stats here to go through, Dylan? If not, we'll step aside, take another 3-minute break.
That's all. That's all for the stats.
All right, let's step aside and take another 3-minute break here on our post-game show. On the other side of that break, we'll give out tonight's awards. This is West Virginia High School Football and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We welcome you back to the Palace Lounge post-game show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 as Martinsburg gets the win 23-6 over the Spring Mills Cardinals to improve to 8-0 on the season. Spring Mills falls to 7-2. As we will now get into tonight's awards, and we'll start off tonight with our electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg or online at orsinis.com. Dylan, who or what are you giving tonight's electrifying play of the game?
I'm going to give it to the 30-yard touchdown run that Coy Fagan had early on in this. It was his second touchdown of the game. It's just a prime example of the speed and acceleration that he has. He doesn't make guys miss in the same way that Sherrod Musgrove does, juking back and forth, quickness, agility, side to side quickness, but it's that burst that he has to get to his top speeds as quick as he does that is electrifying.
There you go. That is tonight's electrifying play of the game. Let's now get tonight's collision of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call them at 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
And go with the punt block that Martinsburg had early on in this one. First punt of the game from Spring Mills. Again, you mentioned it, Colin. Spring Mills' punter was not that very far back. Maybe that's a result of the long snapper, just them not having a long snapper that can get it back that far, and that's why they did that. But it's hard to do that against Martinsburg's athletes. They get the punt block there. They can get back to the punter quickly if you don't have it stacked up at the line to max protection. And they got it done. The special teams has been really good all year for them.
Yes, they have, as now we get into tonight's Good Hands Catch of the game, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg.
This was a little difficult because of the fact that there was only 8 completions combined by both teams in this game, but there's one obvious one. 61-yard touchdown catch by Zachary Bender on a play by Max Anderson. Could have been the electrifying play of the game either way. It was one or the other, but that was the catch of the game that put Spring Mills up on the board. Great play by Anderson, great catch by Bender, great run for him to get into the end zone.
Yeah, at that point it made it a 9-6 game. They went for 2, didn't get it, and didn't get anything else after that. Martinsburg went on to win 23-6, and last but not least, tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Visit them at bodwellinsurancesolutions.com or call 304-283-0864.
I have to give this one to Coy Fagan for his 82 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Could have given it to Murphy Clement because they leaned on him more so in the offense. Gave him 18 carries. He got 60 yards and a touchdown out of it, but I think Fagan just really got those explosive plays when he needed to. The 30-yard touchdown, he had a 4-yard touchdown before that. He had a big 17-yard run after a turnover in the second half. He just showed why he's probably one of the more underrated players in the state, because he is, Murphy Clement gets all the attention. Even a guy like Sherrod Musgrove can get it. And on defense, it's Rashad Reed, but Coy Fagan is a very talented running back.
Definitely deserving of tonight's player of the game. Again, Martinsburg 23, Spring Mills 6, your final score. Martinsburg 8-0 now on the year with 1 game remaining, and that is next week against Hedgesville. And before we wrap things up here at Coburn Field, want to reiterate next week's game, because there's definitely a lot of confusion around it, because earlier this year we reported that the game had been moved to this coming Saturday.
Because it had at one point. Yes.
Because, we thought it actually had.
Oh, okay.
At one point. That actually was never official. So, unfortunate on our end. Our apologies. We were originally under the impression that last week's Hedgesville Musselman, as well as next week's Martinsburg Hedgesville, was moved, but it is kind of still being moved, just not the day. It's still going to be Friday, October 27th, kickoff at 7 p.m. Our pregame coverage will still start at 6 p.m. However, if you want to attend that game in person, it will take place at Spring Mills High School. So again, next week, Martinsburg at Hedgesville. Location will be at Spring Mills High School due to the stadium conditions resulting in it not being usable because of the sinkholes at Hedgesville. So next week, Friday night, October 27th. Tomorrow on TV 10 WRNR TV on YouTube, it's homecoming night for the Shepherd University Rams as they take on the Westchester Golden Rams in the what we have dubbed Head-Butting Bowl. Dylan, looking forward to that one. But for Nick Verzolini, who you'll hear from in a few minutes with our post-game scoreboard show, as well as John Alderton, Daryl Miller, you, Dylan Bishop, I'm Colin McLaughlin, signing off here again. Final score, Martinsburg 23, Spring Mill 6. This has been West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Have a good night, everyone.
This is Senator Patricia Rucker. My record shows that I have led the fight for legislation to provide opportunity for West Virginians, strengthen families, protect our children, and improve education. But there is more work yet to do. West Virginia is on the rise, but we're still playing catch-up. That's why I'm asking for your vote, so that I can go back to Charleston and continue the progress we have made.
Paid for by Rucker for West Virginia, Mike Holtz, Treasurer, rucker4wv.com.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore-D.C. Beltway and 1/2 hour drive from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood, West Virginia is closing its doors forever. I'm Lori, and my father started this jewelry store 48 years ago. It's bittersweet for us to retire and go out of business, but we are so grateful to you.
I'm Dave. Stop by now and receive up to 70% off our entire inventory. It's our way of saying thank you to our cherished clients who have treated us like family for so many years.
Welcome you into the Postgame Scoreboard Show. Apologize for a little bit of a late start. Was trying to figure out some of these scores here that were coming down to the wire, because that Huntington game that I know a lot of Martinsburg fans were probably celebrating because it looked like they were going to fall. That game, I believe, kicked off at 7:30, and you can actually watch it on Facebook. It's available on 930 WRVC's Facebook page, so you can hear that broadcast also on the radio if you want to check it out at the conclusion of this one. But, that's a good game there, because I believe it was a 7:30 kick, so Huntington, Cabell Midland going at it right now. In that one, and it's gotten closer. It's now 24-21 in the fourth quarter with 7:48 to go. So a lot of time left in that one. But let's go over some EPAC scores again. Your final score here tonight from Martinsburg. The Bulldogs get the 23-6 win over the Spring Mills Cardinals. Musselman, they had 14 tonight. You have to adjust that there. So 33-14 our score in that ball game. So Jefferson gets another win. The Applemen continue to struggle to score offensively. Big win for Washington. I believe the final was actually 34-0. I think I have on there 31, but I believe it was a 34-0 Washington, or 38, excuse me. So they got one more touchdown there before the end of that game to make it 38-0 Washington over Hampshire. Now let's go over some scores from across the state as we take a look at it. Again, that's still 24-21 Cabell Midland in that ball game. Big win for Spring Valley tonight, and this impacts things quite a bit if you are a Musselman fan, because the Applemen held the 16th spot. I believe Spring Valley was 17. They get a win over George Washington, 17-10. So they will most likely move into that top 16. We'll see if Musselman can hold on to that spot. There are a few other scores that could help them hold on to that spot, and this is one of them. Wheeling Park absolutely destroys Brook tonight, 61-6. So a big win for Wheeling Park over Brook. And Brook was a team on the outside looking in that actually has 5 wins on the season, but none of those wins have been deemed, I guess, quality wins, or at least more quality than what Musselman's played so far, with the new strength of schedule being added to the rankings. So they are on the outside looking in, and they fall tonight 61-6. That certainly won't help them. Oak Hill gets a win. They will keep a spot in the top 16 over Bluefield. AA Bluefield 26-0 tonight. Parkersburg beating up on Capital. Capital was a team on the outside looking in that still had a shot at 49-7, the score there. So let's go ahead and run down the rest of the AAA scores here tonight that have either gone final or approaching a final, and then we will wrap things up here tonight. No score update between Braxton County and Lincoln County, but Morgantown getting a win over John Marshall, 48-0. Again, Cabell Huntington, 24-21 in that ball game, and that is available to watch on Facebook if you're interested, or streamed on the WRVC radio. So you can check that one out if you want to see the conclusion of that game. Also on their Facebook page. Good one there, 24-21, and has a lot riding on Martinsburg's potential move up in the rankings. Hurricane, though, they get a win, 44-7 over Riverside. And moving down here, Parkersburg South 72, Greenbrier East 7. So it looks like Parkersburg South's going to cruise to a victory. Let's see here, other games that we didn't mention. University will beat Preston tonight, 50-19. That game was close at halftime, but Preston falling to University tonight, 50-19. And St. Albans looks like they're going to get their first win of the season over South Charleston tonight, 22-6. We'll see if there is a Berkeley Springs score. And the Tribe, let's see what they did. I don't see it so far, but I know they were in action There it is, sorry. 35-0 in the third quarter, so Berkeley Springs most likely going to fall tonight to Frankfurt. That will do it here for the post-game scoreboard show. Again, as Colin mentioned, we will have Shepherd University Rams football tomorrow for you on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. And that should be an exciting game tomorrow as the Rams take on the Westchester Golden Rams. That is a noon kickoff, 11:30 a.m. pregame show. That does it for me here in the studio. Once again, your final score, Martinsburg 23, Spring Mills 6. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Have a good night, everyone.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday Night Lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for Steak Night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Locust Hill Golf Course invites you to historic Charlestown, West Virginia for 18 holes of phenomenal golf. We're just an hour drive from the Baltimore, D.C. Beltway and 1/2 hour drive from Winchester and Leesburg, Virginia, as well as Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. Each tee offers challenges across the 35 acres of lakes, ponds, and streams which come into play on 11 holes. The Blue Ridge Mountains also provide a breathtaking backdrop to Locust Hill. Schedule your tee time today at www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call 304-728-7300.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for $12 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $12.
And that concludes today's postgame show. Be sure to tune in each week throughout the regular and postseason for more West Virginia high school football. Today's game has been brought to you by
Orsini's Home Store, Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, The Palace Lounge, CMA Honda, Bechtel Jewelers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, the Heffley Motor Company, W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Auto Group, Ollie's VIP Lounge, and the Gary Kelly Allstate Insurance Agency.
For the best in high school, college, and NFL coverage all season long, keep it tuned in to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.